The following program is rated TV MA LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
They're giving my theme music!
Soundstripe.
This is a Planet Fanatics production.
What up? What's going on, everyone? How is everyone doing this evening? I hope you guys are all good. Appreciate everybody being here. Q is on his way in as we speak. There are some things that we are going to dive into and talk about with all of you guys this evening. And then we're going to chat it up on a few things. Capone, get out. Out. And we're going to chat it up on a few things. Appreciate everybody being here. Raymond and Gray in the chat. The ones liking, the ones watching that haven't joined it in the chat yet, or maybe you're just watching and you don't want to chat. I appreciate all of you being here. Yeah, Raymond, you are on time this time. And if I had one of those deals, I would give you the little round of applause sound effect for being here on time and first. Wow. JD75, appreciate you being here as always. So some of the things that we're going to get into, and I'll just kind of get into that before Q gets in here. We're going to talk about, hold on here. We're going to get into Chris Hemsworth's comments on Thor's future in the MCU. And this is not the first time that Chris Hemsworth has commented on Thor's future in the MCU, but we're going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about the Monica Rambeau series that was canceled from Tiana Paris, and that series that was canceled, and some people having quite a few comments to say about things online about it. So we're going to get into that. We're also going to get into Marvel Studios asking some of their key players, some of their stars, to clear their schedules and what that could possibly mean. And we are also going to get into some of these Blade updates, some of the things going on with Blade. It's kind of a little late on it, but we're going to discuss it anyway. And then the last thing we're going to get into is some of the X-Men news and the wording around the most recent rumor from Daniel RPK, which is also not a new rumor or a new take, that Marvel is looking to focus more heavy on the female side of the X-Men, and we're going to get into what that possibly could mean and things like that. So people have been kind of freaking out about what that could mean as well, but that was reported from Daniel. So we're going to get into all those things. We may also watch the Planet of the Apes final trailer. We're going to probably watch that one. That film does come out in 10 days, so we will be, of course, watching that when it does come out, and we're going to cover it and let you guys know what we thought about it as well. And I think that's just Q coming in. He's barking at Q. So yeah, we'll get into all those things. So I appreciate you being here, Ricardo. Appreciate you being here, Palm Entertainment TV. Appreciate all of you guys being here this evening. Like I said, we're going to get into it all. Let me go ahead and get the chat up here. Oops. To where Q will be in. Oh, sorry. Hold on. There we are. Okay. And then we'll get into all those other things as well. So I'm sure everybody has kind of seen some of Chris Hemsworth's comments recently. Well, today I'm assuming this was an article that was put out by Variety and some things that they had to say. But again, as I stated at the beginning, this is not the first time Chris Hemsworth has commented on this. But before we get into that, we'll let Q come in and give his thoughts on how he is since the last time you guys saw him.
shit. What? My fault. That fucking traffic over there. I don't know. There's just hella construction going on. But last time you seen me, what was I doing? Like 2 weeks ago. Shit, it was my birthday. Turned 22. The day after, got sick. Had fucking some shit going on with me. Had fucking something with my tonsils. I need to get them hoes removed. Fucking throat was swollen. Had hella tonsil stones. Fucking
Stones?
Yeah, bro. Like 6 or 7 at once that I couldn't get out. Like all on one side.
What?
And then I'm still on fucking medicine now because when I get something wrong with like my throat or anything, breathing, my asthma starts fucking up. So then I couldn't sleep because I couldn't breathe. So I was in hell, but I'm good now. Shit. NFL draft hit. Steelers had a good draft. Playoffs going. Watching the playoffs. That's really all. I haven't been to work I haven't been to work since I was 21. Dead ass. I have an interview tomorrow with a dog training place. So hopefully get that and then be working like 2 jobs this summer. Get this shit and then yeah,
Isn't
right.
that sad?
I don't even know how to pronounce that shit or nothing. So, but that's what it was.
Isn't that sad? You know, have to work 2 jobs to survive.
Man, and I'm fucking younger. I don't even have as many bills as y'all, like you or like my mom or fucking. I don't own a house, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't have those bills or anything yet, and so it's crazy.
Yeah.
The amount we gotta try to make just to enjoy life.
Tonsillitis.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah. No, I've never had anything like that. I've never been like, I've never broken anything. I've never really been in the hospital. I rarely get sick. When I do get sick though, I get sick. Like I'm already an exaggerative person, so when I get sick, it's like.
Oh no, I'm a bitch ass nigga when I'm sick.
Yeah, I'm like
the most
dying.
light skinned nigga you could, but like I still moan and groan when I'm sick.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I do too. Oh yeah.
Me getting sick is what made me move in with my mom.
I will
Like,
call
she
my
had to come
mom.
pick me up, pick my dogs up, and then I was like, I'm gonna just stay here. Like, dead ass, because I was like, I get sick and I'm the type of nigga to lay on the bathroom floor if I go in there to throw up. I don't even want to go back to bed. I'm laying in there groaning, moaning.
Yeah, I'm not
mad.
I get sick the same way. Okay, now Chris Hemsworth's
But
most recent comments and everything that he was saying. So, as we were talking about earlier, Chris Hemsworth has talked about this recently. This is not the first time Chris Hemsworth has talked about his performance in Thor: Love and Thunder. Now, again, none of us here, it's no secret to any of us here what Thor: Love and Thunder was. I think that was one of the first moments in Phase 4, or was that, yeah, in Phase 4, that made you say, uh-oh. That made us look around at the other Marvel fans, you know, on the same ride with us saying, oh shit, is this where the cracks are starting to show, and blah, blah, blah. That's where those conversations started to come in, actually. That's where you started hearing people saying, are the cracks showing, Marvel fatigue, or superhero fatigue, and blah, 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 blah. Now, we talked about this long time ago when we talked about Thor: Love and Thunder. For me, it was not Chris Hemsworth. You know, Chris Hemsworth, I've said this many times. I adore Chris Hemsworth as Thor. I think that he is a fantastic Thor. The scene that always comes to mind for me, though, with Thor, I think he's a fantastic Thor in Infinity War. I think he's a fantastic Thor in Endgame. And I really, you know, Ragnarok is in my top 5 favorite MCU films. And I really love him in Ragnarok, too. And thought in Ragnarok he was able, because Taika was on a leash, able to balance the humor with the serious comedic or serious tones of the film and still get the point across of what the film needed to be. I thought Ragnarok did its job. I know that Twitter disagrees and will tell you Ragnarok's not a good film. Fuck you guys. I think Ragnarok is a fantastic Marvel film. But that's where I really gravitated to Chris Hemsworth's Thor. I hated Dark World, and I really was not a big fan of the first Thor either. But I gravitated to his Thor after watching Ragnarok. And then, of course, Infinity War, when he lands in Wakanda and says, you know, bring me Thanos. Everything in Infinity War he does as Thor is dope. And then, of course, Endgame. So, to me, it wasn't that Chris Hemsworth had anything to apologize for. For me, it was more so Taika Also, Marvel themselves, Kevin Feige, giving Taika Waititi as much room as they gave him on that film. We all started to say, okay, the reins are too loose with Taika. The screaming goats, all the jokes with Korg. I mean, the whole film felt like a parody. I've said this before. It felt like the parody that they do in the Thor films with Matt Damon and Melissa McCarthy and all them. It wasn't. It was a terrible film. Terrible film. We with Gore the God Butcher, we only saw 30 seconds of God butching, and that was on the screen in the Guardian ship. Zeus was a joke. All the gods were a joke. The fight scene, the only cool thing, and I say this to this day, the only cool thing was when Gore showed up in New Asgard and him and Thor first started fighting that little bit. It was very quick, but little bit of fight. That was it. The main fight where he gave his powers to the children, I've never seen Thor do that. Just a ridiculous film. But Thor to me having to, or Thor, Chris Hemsworth to me having to apologize or feeling like he has to apologize. It's not your fault. Like I said, he did talk about this back in June of 2023. And before you give your thoughts on just what you think of, before I get into the article, I'm going to want to read this quote that he said. Now, this is back in June 2023. We talked about this then, but again, it's not his first time talking about Thor Love and Thunder. He said, I think we had too much fun. It just became too silly. The movie, it's always hard being in the center of these things and having any real perspective. I love the process. It's always a ride, but you just don't know how people are going to respond. He went on to say that his biggest critics were his son's friends. He said, "It's a bunch of 8-year-olds critiquing my film. We thought this one had too much humor and action was cool, but the BF effects weren't as good." One of the 8-year-olds said, "I cringe and laughed equally at it." That's what Hemsworth said back to them. So these are 8-year-olds that were talking about the effects of the BF effects and how terrible they were. These are 8-year-olds talking about why is there so much humor in a Marvel film. These are 8-year-olds talking about, how they just preferred the film. And when you go back to how the MCU started, it was 8-year-olds that they were asking, what superheroes do you want to see in the MCU? Those were 8-year-olds saying Thor, Iron Man, blah, 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 blah. So, the kids didn't like it. The adults didn't like it. Hemsworth didn't like it. But before we read the article, what were your thoughts just on, I don't know if you've seen the quotes that Hemsworth had been saying today or whatever, but your thoughts on what he was saying?
I may be alone on this, but the Thor franchise sucks. That shit stinks.
Oh, no, it's cat stinky.
In terms of what Thor is in the comic books, and, I mean, even where they could have went off Ragnarok with the Hulk stories and even another Thor story, I personally think the MCU Thor is ass. I mean, the best we got was whenever he was being written by the Russos
in
as
Infinity
a
War.
not
right.
a cameo, but there were no main characters in that movie really outside of like Thanos, and I guess he was Iron Man, him and Cap were the main characters, I guess you could say. But that's when he's best written, whenever it was by the Russos, and so. I mean, I'm not saying it's Chris Hemsworth at all. I'm just saying the Thor franchise, and that's me putting it on Taika. That shit stinks. I'm not.
No, not wrong.
What we got in Infinity War and Endgame is what we should have been getting in the whole Thor trilogy. We should have more connections with Loki. We should have, as much as they're telling that story with Loki now, there should be some sort of emotional. He should know or just think Loki's still dead.
Right.
As much as Love and Thunder, that shit was a bad movie. Like, Ant-Man, the last Ant-Man, that shit's a bad MCU film. I can find a little enjoyment in it, but Thor, Love and Thunder, that shit is a bad movie. It's not a bad MC. That shit's a bad. That shit's bad cinema. There's nothing good about Love and Thunder that I would even want to watch a clip of. I can give you maybe one, and that's when Gore has whatever her name is, all captured up, and he's talking to her and shit, and like that scene, I guess, is cool, but I don't even remember names. That's how bad that movie is horrible.
Valkyrie?
That movie is fucking
it's awful.
Terrible.
It's awful.
And so, I'm not trying to blame Hemsworth at all, but I mean, I don't know. It's like. I don't even want to bring this up because I hate that we bounce back to this every time, but Chadwick Boseman didn't let them niggas fuck over that one movie he got with. As an actor, at some point, like Ryan Reynolds has some say in Deadpool, you know. So once you get to some point, I feel like you got to say no to some shit. Like, you can't just be going along with everything. And I mean, I don't know how much power he has or anyone really has in recently, but I know we can get to the quote because I don't want to take too much time.
No,
But that's what I'm trying to say is that Love and Thunder was horrible. The fucking trilogy stinks. Everyone loves Thor in terms of Infinity War and the Avengers movies. Anytime he's not in his own movie, perfect. I like Ragnarok too. I'm not saying it's not a good movie in terms of the action scenes and in terms of the plot that goes on, but in terms of being like comic book Thor and the trilogy we've gotten as a story,
no,
I don't even know if there is a story.
No, not at all. And you know, I think, like I said, I think Hemsworth it's not him. It's been the scripts he's been given. It's been, you know, he's even said it himself. He's felt like even when he's with the Avengers, he says it in this, that he's felt like he's just the security guard. He's just the guy with the muscle, the wig, and the hammer, you know. And I don't know. I feel like in his team up films, I feel like they do Thor well. It is just in his individual films, for me, outside of Ragnarok, that it's just not interesting. Yeah, it's not interesting at all. But I'm not going to read this entire article. I'm going to read just what Hemsworth himself had to say in that quote. Let's see. It says Chris Hemsworth shared his bouts with imposter syndrome in an interview with Variety or Vanity Fair. The actor looked back on his career many turns, notably his sustained run as the Avengers Thor. Hemsworth says he's been pigeonholed to stud roles early on after a 3-year stint playing a hunk on an Australian soap. I didn't know that. I knew it was on a soap opera. While he was grateful to play the Asgardian for 15 years in the MCU, he recalled the times he compared his character's growth to the rest of the Avengers. Sometimes I felt like the security guard for the team. He said I would read everyone's lines and go, "Oh, they get to do way cooler stuff. They're having fun. What's my character doing?" And again, I'm trying to think. In Age of Ultron, that was really, even in the first Avengers film, I thought Thor he's got the big fight with Hulk.
Yeah, no. I don't think anyone was really stars of the Avengers.
No, I don't. No.
Age of Ultron was more Tony, cause I guess, but he made fucking Ultron and Vision.
But that's just tough, bro. You're showing, you're sharing the screen with Downey.
Yeah.
So it's tough. But
Dan Evans.
Yeah, that too. So
and Johansson, to be honest, like.
It's a star-studded cast. Yeah. So all of them. I don't know why he feels as if he's not, because I think he does. I don't know. I think he does good. He went on to say Hemsworth admits to second-guessing his place in the MCU. It was always about you've got the wig on, you've got the muscles, you've got the costume. Where's the lightning? I'm part of this big thing, but I'm probably pretty replaceable. I remember when he said this again in the original quote that he did back in June of 2023, and I said this then. Sure, is Hemsworth replaceable as Thor? They're all replaceable. They're actors and actresses. Like, these roles have to continue on. They're all replaceable. But in the current, where we are in the MCU, I don't like. He is, again, you can recast him, but I wouldn't want.
Like I just said, damn, nigga, like, at some point you gotta have some responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That might be a him thing if you sitting here feeling like a side character and
That's
shit.
What I'm saying. Like, where is it coming from?
But maybe it could be all the other niggas' trilogies are better.
That too.
outside of Bruce, like, everyone who has a trilogy, shit's better than his. Like, so I don't know. Maybe he got cursed with a horrible writer.
We got cursed with Taika, and we all.
Not a I don't want to call Taika horrible, but I don't know. I don't like that name Marvel work.
No.
Like his work.
But remember Taika was quoted saying he will purposely do things that he knows are going to piss off comic book fans.
I already don't like a nigga that wake up trying to piss niggas off.
Yeah.
That's my least favorite type of person.
Yeah. He went on to say, he says these doubts contributed to his decision to move back to Australia in 2015 to escape the head trip of Hollywood, describing his experience up to the point of continuous spike of contrasting expectations. He added, I'm sick of my face. Why isn't it on billboards? Oh, this is a mental issue. I'm too famous. Why are the paparazzi here? Wait, why aren't there any paparazzi here? Well, which one do you want, Chris? Yeah, this is a mental thing. I think Chris. I think he can have a really good Thor film, a really good Thor film that he can be really proud of. And I say that because there are pieces already laid out for the future of Thor in the MCU. Even though Thor Ragnarok was shit, you still have, you can take that shit and turn that shit into gold. Why? Because of the characters that you have with it. You still have Hercules. You've still got Zeus. You can bring Crow back in and tell him, okay, we're not going to do that prancing ass shit that Taika had you doing. We're actually going to do a serious Zeus the way he is in Marvel Comics. There's a rumor that comes along with this, and this is just a rumor right now. It says that Jane will return for Thor 5, and Hercules won't be the main villain. His role will be comparable to Adam Warlock. So who the main villain would be in this, I'm not sure. But you could take it that, because Hemsworth was also quoted in that back in June of 2023 saying he wanted to do a more darker toned, more serious toned Thor. He said, this is not verbatim, but he said, if I do come back as Thor, because they were talking about him coming back, if I do come back as Thor, it has to be more serious. It has to be more of a serious toned Thor for him to come back. So the pieces are there. There are elements that they can use for a Thor 5. To keep Hemsworth happy and to make fans happy. But, as always, question is for you guys. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about Chris Hemsworth's most recent comments, and what do you think could happen in a Thor 5? Are you interested in a Thor 5? And do you think this is just him in his head? And let us know. Or no, this would be Thor
4?
No.
5? For real?
This would be 5. No, is Love and Thunder 5? There's the first one,
no
Dark World, Ragnarok, Love and Thunder's 4.
Did you just say? You skipped the whole number.
No, because there's
You said Dark World, Ragnarok, and then you said...
Ragnarok is 3. The first original one, Dark World.
My dumb ass.
Ragnarok's 3.
I'm sitting here. Yeah, no. Okay.
Love and Thunder's 4, so this one would be 5.
That's how bad that fucking franchise is.
Yeah, this one would be 5. So if you're even
Everything
interested
I
in
love,
Thor 5, let us know down below in the comments.
I couldn't tell you what happens in that first Thor movie.
I mean, I know scenes.
That franchise is
I know
bad.
scenes. That was early days of Marvel too, you know.
Are we going comments?
Yeah,
dude?
yeah, just a little of them.
D. Steele said, about popularity, besides Hulk and Spidey, the average person knew nothing about these characters in the MCU. A character not being super popular is no excuse to go full-on fanfic. They do have fans.
Yeah.
I agree. Ricardo said, Thor's humor is just innocently being ignorant to human Midgard customs. Not that hard. Just think of a foreigner going to a country and doing something out of place that might be a bit funny. Thor was cool as hell in the first Avengers.
Yeah. I loved him in Infinity War, bro. Like, he is dope in Infinity War.
Raymond said, Ragnarok was a mixed bag for me. The jokes were too much. I wanted it to be more grittier. I mean, we were handling heavy stuff. Death, destruction, apocalypse. It was just too goofy.
Has goofy moments.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm like, it was good in terms of all that, the action scenes and all the scenes with the fucking anything emotional in that movie, but then sometimes you just look at it and you're like, man, I wonder what a different writer would have done with this.
Yeah.
Johnny Washington said, Thor in the comics was never that popular either. He always been a wacky character throughout his history.
You know, one thing I'll say, too, that I did not care for in Ragnarok was the fact that they infused Planet Hulk with it, because it completely messed up anything that they could have done with that. Because now whatever you do with that, it's got to be tied back into
D Steel said, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes handled those Ragnarok elements better. Season 3 was going to feature a full-on Ragnarok story.
You know, with Marvel wanting to do more animation with how great X-Men 97 is doing, I'm wondering if they might do an Avengers whole new one, or they might, I don't know if they'll pick up Earth's Mightiest Heroes or whatever, but if they do like an Avengers animated story, I'm telling you, animation's thriving right now.
No, that's pretty much it. Ham Entertainment said Thor Ragnarok was the best Thor movie. The rest were weak.
Yeah, out of the four of them, it is, in my opinion, too. It is the best one. I mean, but that's a very low bar too. So, but again, that's in my top 5 Marvel films. I love that movie. But we will move on to the next thing here. The next thing we're going to talk about is the Monica Rambeau series for Tiana Paris. So there was a rumored from Daniel RPK. There was a Monica Rambeau series that was supposed to take place on Disney Plus. This is what Daniel had to say about it. He said a project for Tiana Paris, Monica Rambeau, was reportedly in the works at Marvel Studios. It got scrapped due to the Marvels underperforming at the box office. Her story will now continue in other MCU projects. And I'm going to be honest, before we get thoughts and get in here, I'm not mad I'm not as mad. I'm upset at the fact that, yeah, you know, we could have gotten a Monica Rambeau story, you know, or not just her story, but a series of whatever it would have been within the timeline. But I'm not upset that the series did not happen. And the reason I'm not upset, it's a mixed, I'm 50-50 on it, but I'm also not upset that the series didn't happen because which series has Marvel given us that's been good? You know, outside of the current 97 and WandaVision and Loki, for me personally, Marvel has not been able to deliver in a Disney Plus series. And I don't think with Rambeau they would have been able to deliver in a series either. What, a 6-episode series of us doing what with Monica? What was this series even going to be centered around? You know, for me, this is too big of a character, one. And I know the MCU may have people fooled into who Monica really is. You know, you saw her get her powers in WandaVision, and then you saw her play third fiddle in the Marvels film, second to Brie Larson, or third to Brie Larson and Amon Vanali. But I make no mistake, you know, their first mistake that they did with Monica was making her a child in the Captain Marvel film. Again, I know Marvel has fooled, you know, regular MCU fans, but this woman held the title of Captain Marvel before Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, before Carol Danvers. She was the original Captain Marvel. She, you know, has many different aliases within Marvel, but she was the original Captain Marvel. So really, respect hasn't been put on Photon, Monica, Captain Marvel, whichever you want to call her, on her name since she's been in the MCU. So no, I didn't trust them to do a series, and I'm really glad that the series didn't happen, because if the series would have happened, yes, people are bitching, oh, you know, we were robbed. Were we? Are you sure we were robbed? Because what if we were seeing a different story? We get the series and we're on here saying, oh, well, they're not respecting Monica. They got Monica doing this sidekick ass shit, blah, 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 blah. We're not even seeing her get her, you know, that's what the conversation would have been, because that's the conversation with every Marvel series outside of 97, and maybe you have your issues with Loki and WandaVision, but outside of 97 and those other two, and again, that's just for me personally, that's the conversation with every series. That's the conversation with She-Hulk. That's the conversation with Ms. Marvel, Moon Knight, all of them. And then on top of that, you were going to give her a series after Amon Vanali series. You know, again, this woman held the Captain Marvel name first. Again, it's the MCU. I know they do their things their way, but no, I'm not upset that there wasn't a Rambeau series. And I think that it's a character, again, as strong and powerful as she truly is. That's a display that needs to be on the big screen. I don't know how you do Captain Marvel in a 6-episode series anyway. The effects and everything that come with that no, we would have been pissed. You may be pissed that you got robbed, but you'd have been pissed. So that's just my thoughts on it.
I don't know. I'm glad you said all that shit because I was hoping we wouldn't have to argue on this one because I got happy hearing they weren't doing that shit because for what? The fuck do we need? Like when I heard the exact words "continue to tell her story in other projects," I'm like, man, that's how we should be doing this shit all along. Not telling fucking 6 episodes. Like if you wanted, they should have introduced Damon in a Captain Marvel movie or some shit at the end. Oh, she's some super fan, this and that. However, but like you said, Monica's way too big. I mean, there's even 6, 8, 10 episode. What is it like?
Right.
At this point in her story, you've done nothing for even fans of Monica to enjoy what you've put on screen. So I doubt a random nigga who gives a fuck what she's doing on
that point.
Wednesday at 2 a.m.
That point.
Like,
that point.
And so I don't know. You pretty much said everything to say, but I was happy hearing they weren't going to do it because Monica, like you said, Miss Marvel at first, Captain Marvel at first, not Miss Marvel, but I enjoy reading some things about Photon. Not my favorite character, but the things I read, never dislike anything about it. So what I do see on screen, I don't want to have to be like, oh, that series is ass or some shit. Like,
right.
We already got, like you said, playing third fiddle in fucking the Marvels and everything, and so I don't know. I just hope them actually canceling the series leads to something better rather than them canceling the series leads to...
Right. Yeah,
throw
shelving
you up there for a minute on the shelf for some seconds.
Right.
It's like, I don't know. The Russos are really... I mean, I guess... I'm just not confident in too many writers that are going to be able to put together all these heroes on a team in one movie and everything. Like, they're going to have to hire a team of writers and do this shit as a unit. From what I'm seeing from the Russos and shit, they might not be coming back or whatever and shit like that. So, I don't know. I don't know if... we can get into the quote or whatever we were. I don't know if there was more on this, but...
Yeah,
I saw a comment that said Gray said no real origin story, no character development, just no respect to it. And it's like, not even just Monica though. It's like a lot of these characters that have been brought in, Moon Knight, fucking,
and I do want to,
Eternals, Shang-Chi even. I mean, Shang-Chi was a
for
good
sure.
movie, but we should be seeing more.
Right, right.
Even Bruce Banner, the Hulk. I don't like his real character, the real characters and stories that are behind the MCU, it's like, I don't know.
Right. I know normally we'll address comments after the video or after we give our thoughts and things like that, but I do want to address what Raymond just said there when he said, then why are we getting an Agatha series? And I completely agree with him. Now, don't get me wrong. As I've said, you've heard me say on this channel before, I like the magic and I love magic in the mystical side of things when it comes to Marvel or whatever, anything like that. So the magic side of things I do like a part about that. But I agree with you. Why are we getting an Agatha series? The only thing Agatha is serving a purpose of is just getting more Wanda. These are all side WandaVision stories.
But I mean, I don't know. It's like, because
to introduce Wiccan.
Yeah, but it's like, we talked about this before, and it's like, I don't think the idea of having TV series is bad if they did that. Like, Daredevil. If Netflix's Daredevil seasons 1 through 3 were part of the MCU, like, at the beginning, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they didn't just get added. If they do shit like that, that's good to have, like, for characters that you can't really throw into these main stories all the time and stuff like that. And so, it's just the way that they've brought like, Echo. No one wants to see a 6-episode something about Echo that doesn't connect to anything.
Right.
But Kingpin, who's also only in another... Like, it has nothing to do with the main story. But it's like, if you had a main story that's going on that everyone's happy with, and then you have series going on while we don't have movies that are actually telling stories and not just 6 episodes and shit like that, then I don't think we'd have issues. But it's just the fact that the series have been bad.
Yeah,
like,
they have been.
That's really all it is, in my opinion. Like,
and
if we were getting good series constantly, like WandaVision and Loki and X-Men 97, and then we got good episodes of What If, like actual interesting ass what if this happened, like, I don't think we'd have it. But the what if they're telling is what if fucking Captain. I don't even. What is her Peggy? Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
like I
it's
don't.
all
like,
yeah.
No one gives a fuck about.
Yeah,
this
no,
shit.
and that's so it's with Agatha, it's only serving a purpose into telling further stories. That's all. Agatha, Vision Quest, those Wonder Man, they are all stepping stones to Wanda. That is it. That's it. The Vision Quest is going to get you closer to Wanda. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know Viz and or his kids are going to be in the show. I don't. No one cares about Vision Quest. No one. I don't care to see what Vision has been up to since we last saw him in 2019. No. I don't care, or 2020, whenever it was. I don't care to see what Vision's been up to. Wonder Man. I've already told you my disdain with Wonder Man. I don't really care at all about that. And then for this Agatha series, the only thing Agatha's going to do is give us Wiccan, which is going to put Wiccan on the Young Avengers team. That is. Yeah, so that's and again I agree. The purpose, there is no purpose, because what are we telling here outside of getting us to Wanda, or what Wanda's been up to, or if Wanda still plays a key role in what they're trying to do in the multiversal saga.
I don't understand, like, you doing all this bullshit to get to Wanda. Nigga,
but does Wanda even still play a role?
No, nigga, just give us Wanda. Like,
well,
that's
that
all
too.
they want.
That
like,
too.
You doing all this extra shit. Like, just put Wanda on screen and tell some sort of story. Like, on everything I love with the X-Men and mutants coming up, I'd rather watch Wanda and stories with them than fucking Vision and whatever they're trying to do with Vision, Wonder Man, and the Young. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's see. This is from Fandom Wire. They went on to say, Teyonah Parris Monica Rambeau was slated to get her own solo MCU series if it was not for the disappointing reception of Brie Larson's The Marvels. The character officially debuted on Disney Plus's WandaVision, though her first brief appearance was in 2019's Captain Marvel as a young Monica. As expected, fans' opinions of Rambeau getting her own show were divisive, with some excited to see her take the spotlight, with others pointing out how mundane the character is. And the character, again, this is why I said what I said at the very beginning. I know the MCU has made her mundane, has made her seem like she's not interesting, but this is why there's always that headbutting in these conversations when it comes to comic fans and simple MCU fans. And again, I'm not taking anything away from you because you didn't read a comic. What I'm simply saying is you got to step outside the MCU sometime if you want to know who some of these characters are. Don't just go to the MCU for source, or for as a source material, as who the character is. She is not a mundane character at all. At all. This is one of the strongest characters in Marvel. And again, the respect that has not been put on her in the MCU is what you get why you got people calling her mundane. It goes on to say, Monica Rambeau was supposed to have her own solo MCU series. In a post from Nexus Point News, the page shared a scoop from known industry insider Daniel RPK that they planned a Monica Rambeau series and has been shelved due to audience's mediocre reception of the Marvels. And it's the quote I read there earlier. It says the character has connections with other Marvel heroes, so it's not a shocking revelation that her story will be picked up in another franchise. It looks like Rambeau thrives with a team. Okay. Interestingly, the character has previously received her own solo comic book story written by Eve L. Ewing, and if you want to know anything about that, you go either pick it up or you can go watch what Chill did. Chill covered the entire series, and I think those videos are still up on his channel. And illustrated by Michael Sta. Maria Monica Rambeau Photon is the limited 5-issue series that brings an in-depth understanding of the hero. And then it goes on to say it's unclear whether the canceled show was going to adapt the story or not. Regardless, this is what Ewing said about the novel. She goes on to say it's such an honor to be taking on the story of a legacy character like Monica Rambeau. And I want to say that again, a legacy character like Monica Rambeau. Monica's character has a long history in the Marvel Universe, but she's always overdue for getting her own story told. Always. Last thing it says is Marvel fans aren't happy with Monica Rambeau starring in her own show. Okay, now these are, I guess, some people that weren't happy about her starring in her own show. Tiana Paris was aware of the backlash the Marvels received when it premiered last year, though the actress did not let all that outside noise affect her confidence. She shared with IGN, I can't say that I really felt hate because we were in a very disconnected time. I was surrounded by people who were excited for me, people who wanted and were waiting to see me, and these other women get up here and kick butt. So I felt a lot of love. Indeed, this level of support is pretty much what she needs after fans' reactions to her planned solo series. Many believe it was unnecessary to give the character her own stage since she's not as popular as other MCU characters. Others were simply not interested to hear more of her story. Check out these tweets below. And again, this is what happens when you introduce the character the way that you introduce the character. You did not make Monica interesting enough in WandaVision. I mean, the power moments were interesting. When the bullet went through her, when Wanda, lifted her and she landed the superhero. That shit, okay, cool. Ooh, she's using her powers. But you didn't. It's just like fucking Echo. You did nothing to make people say, God, I want to see more of this character. So I've not seen what people have said, but... Someone said she's the most boring character in the MCU. Okay, all right, Lawrence Dystopia. That's that's a bitch. That's a stretch. She's not the most boring character in the MCU. Someone said her story shouldn't continue at all. Damn. This is one of the bad things about the MCU. In the old days, a flop would deliver a clear message and no sequel would be made. Now they won't make a sequel, but they will hamstring some other project with a pseudo sequel storyline. I agree with him. He's not wrong at all. But again,
I mean,
this is Marvel's fault.
Are we gonna take into account that Twitter hates Brie Larson?
Well, that too.
I'm
that
not
too.
expecting any of this shit to be, unless it's a verified account or some shit. I'm not really expecting anything to be real.
Right.
I know I'm a hating ass nigga, but I be seeing some shit online, man.
And these people, like you said, they do hate Brie. Let me clarify that when I said he's not wrong. He's not wrong in what he's saying about Marvel, what they do with their projects.
Yeah, the pseudo.
Yeah. That's what he's not wrong in that at all. Someone else said Marvel keeps making what fans didn't ask for. I mean, but we're
also not wrong.
No, also not wrong. This was also the reception with Echo,
I was gonna say a lot of these comments could be put under any character. I don't know if this is just.
But this is Marvel's
bias
fault.
Whenever the Marvels came out, yeah.
This is their fault.
My thing is, I mean, how many characters do you expect to enjoy whenever they are or not enjoy? How many characters are you expecting oh my god, this is my favorite character ever, whenever they're the third fiddle in a horrible movie. And I don't want to call the Marvels horrible because it's not Love and Thunder
It's
bad,
not. It's not.
But it's not it has good moments for sure. I'm not gonna lie, but Darvin,
Jesus,
one of the worst.
Oh my gosh,
villains, maybe the worst. I don't know. And so from that point of view, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just it sucks because. Like we've talked about, there's so many stories to be told, and I want to, like you said, we don't touch on comments too often, but DC said Monica's family, where's Frank, should have never been tied to Carol's, but that's another big discussion, and it's boom. This is, Monica is a whole separate, that really shouldn't have been tied with Wanda.
No.
Shouldn't have been tied with the Marvels.
No.
Her, Frank, and everything about those Marvels should have been their own separate little thing and everything, but I completely agree with that.
You sidelined her story, her origin, and again, I can already hear it. Why is it always about race? But to elevate Carol Danvers and make her Captain Marvel when Carol did not hold that title first. I mean, so you made her a kid, and now this kid grew up to have mommy issues with Carol. You never called me. Why the fuck would Monica be worried about that? So it's just that I don't know that it's just the writing, the directions taken. That's why people are saying. What's this person say? That's why people are saying. I don't think her character is interesting enough yet. Them build her like they did Wanda. Exactly. I mean. almost a stroke reading it, but exactly. They need to build her like they built up Wanda, built up all these other characters, because she is, as Eve Ewing said, she is a legacy character.
But that's why it's like a little bit of faith, because they're not doing the series, and like how did they build up Wanda? Other movies.
Right.
And so hopefully that is what we're getting with Monica. But like you said, I mean, the people who complain, I'm like, why is it always about race? I mean, I don't even look. Dude, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just showing you.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just telling you what's obvious. I mean, she is. I mean, it's another black hero that, again, her story is going to be told in other stuff, but another black hero that you had the chance to do. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this at all. Or am I saying this? You had the chance. You had the chance to do that $1.3 billion that you didn't expect to do. And I am saying this, that you didn't expect to do with T'Challa. Why? Because it's kind of what we talked about with the Black Panther and things like that. The black dollar sells. I mean, we'll look at us right now in election time. What are these people running for office banning for right now? The black vote, the black vote, the black vote. Why? Because the black vote is important. The black dollar is even more so important, because if the black community put their all into something, you can't. I mean, we culturally we inspire. With music, with fashion, with looks, with even with Black Panther. That was a cultural inspirational movement, not just in our culture, but there, as I've said many times, there were many little white kids. I was watching a TikTok the other day of a white little boy, maybe, I don't know, 6 or something like that, with his dad, had on a whole Black Panther costume. And like 4 or 5 of the videos, he had that costume on. It's like, so it's not just black kids that the Black Panther touched. So you had the opportunity to take Tiana Paris and elevate her into that same type of status of a character, to make people really understand who Monica Rambeau is, who the Captain Marvel is, Photon, whatever name you want to use for her, and then really elevate that character. But you failed to do that, and that is why no one cares now. I mean, yeah, you can put her in other projects, but now putting her in those other projects, having her, and maybe this does lead to a solo film to where people actually, you build up enough care to where people, are interested in a solo film. But you could have done that with the beginning, but now you've got to do this long, hard legwork to get people to even give a fuck about the character. So, bravo, Marvel. I was going to say we don't have to keep reading the hate, but you guys let us know what you guys think down below in the comments. Is the Monica Rambeau series something that you really, and again, I do love the character. I love the character in comics. I think Tiana Paris does a good job of playing Monica. But again, do you think that that's something that we really needed in the current state of the MCU? Is, loving the character, but with logic, with that love, do you really think that they would have handled a series like that the way it should have been handled? And again, I don't think that she's not a series character anyway. But let us know all the stuff down below in the comments.
Black said, Monica has unfortunately never really been a very popular character in Marvel. I get that they're trying to shed more light and give some shine to some lesser known characters, but I don't see this. And I'll just say shit. We just talked about Thor not really being that popular selling wise in the comics, but I mean, if that's the argument, then the Guardians, we wouldn't have Groot, Rocket, fuck any of the Guardians. Just think of any of these. A lot of the MCU, honestly, is lesser known characters outside of Iron Man, who's not here anymore. And so it's like, that has nothing to do with what we're saying. I'm saying the fact of they didn't put their effort into, they didn't really say, oh, we want people to like Monica, let's write a detailed story into her, let's give her some shine. They were like, oh, Monica, let's cast her for Wanda, something in WandaVision to do, because that's really all it felt like. She was there to help tell Wanda's story.
Yeah. And
then they looked back and they were like, okay, WandaVision was a hit, so maybe we can take her and plug her in here and help the Marvel success. That's always how I felt about it.
No, I agree.
And then it ended up the Marvels, how much niggas hate Brie. I don't even know if people like Iman Vellani, and I personally do. I think she's great as Miss Marvel. I don't know what people online are thinking of her because people aren't talking about her. And so that's just what it is, honestly.
Yep.
I don't know if you wanted to say anything about
No.
that.
No.
Gray said when they can take T'Challa, a billion-dollar character, off the board and people don't say anything, they can do whatever with lesser-known black superheroes. You get the representation you settle for.
That is true. That's kind of the point I was making there with, like, they could have, I mean, obviously T'Challa didn't just, bam, here's a Black Panther film. He was introduced in Civil War. But, it could have been done with more care.
Dalton said it's BS if they're making... Dalton Meadsmith said it's BS if they're making decisions based on the low box office. The actors weren't able to promote it along with many other unprecedented factors. If you have a good story to tell, then you tell it.
And that is true, too. There was no...
Do we want to take it a step further in the race debate and say it's because it was a black woman's movie?
Maybe,
That's why they didn't promote it. Because I wasn't even thinking about that shit. I mean...
Maybe. Z-Sizzle said, like I said, the common folks don't know who T'Challa is until Captain America Civil War. And that's kind of the point, again, that I was making when I said they could have, Right. But we'll move here to the next topic. The next topic that we're going to move here to is going to be Marvel has recently told some of their stars to clear their schedules. And this is coming, again, from Daniel RPK, who just did a rumor roundup on his Patreon, so that's where much of this is coming from him. He said, Avengers 5, exclusive update. Marvel told some Avengers actors to clear their schedules for Avengers films. They figured out the direction, smaller team, no Fantastic Four, a lot of other new characters in Avengers 5. Avengers 5, they are filming next year, so now they are keeping... For now, they are keeping this release date. And then it goes on to say that these are some of the heroes that are going to be in Avengers 5. She-Hulk, Captain America Sam Wilson, Moon Knight, Spider-Man will all appear in Avengers 5. As of now, those are the heroes that are going to be in Avengers 5. They're gonna get their asses beat.
I just immediately thought of when you posted that X-Men versus the Avengers shit, and I was like, where the fuck are the Avengers? Like, we don't have the X-Men, but they... Bro, what a fucking team. Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Sam Wilson, and fucking Spider-Man.
First, a multiversal threat.
Bro, I love Spider-Man, but like, who the fuck do these niggas think he is, bro? Like,
man,
that nigga is not God. Like, I don't know why they keep trying to play this Spider-Man card because he sells, but that nigga is not Jesus, bro. My fault.
Oh, fuck.
Niggas looked at each other. Boy, that shit was
That's funny.
Bro, because I'm reading the little sub-caption of Thor and Doctor Strange might potentially return, and then you spit that shit.
That's what I was going to say. I think the only other two would be those two.
Well, who the fuck is the villain? Because that's funny.
I don't know. It's really rough. But that, okay, so as Q said, the duo of Thor and Doctor Strange might potentially appear. There's also the rumor that Shuri, as the Black Panther, will appear. That's the team as of now. This has been my question and your question for the longest. When people keep saying Avengers 5 and Avengers versus X-Men, it's like, well, who the fuck are the Avengers? Because there currently are no Avengers, and based off the team that I just named, that is rumored from Daniel RPK, again, grain of salt, that is not a box office selling team at all. That is not a team. I think that would be Marvel's first. And again, we don't know for sure. These are rumors, so, whatever. But that would be Marvel's first Avengers film that would flop. Because no one's going... She-Hulk?
I'm just sitting here trying to
Moon
think
Knight.
of ways that they could maybe work together.
But see, that was when I saw Moon Knight, it brought me back to the conversation we had a long time ago. How the fuck does Khonshu and Moon Knight work on the Avengers team?
They're gonna be with Moon Knight personality that don't fuck with them.
That's what I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea. But this is what Fandom Wire said about it.
Moon Knight questioning why Cap's black.
That's what
Who is this nigga?
Khonshu. I mean, you just have Khonshu commentating in the back. I don't know how that works.
Oh my god.
But this is what Fandom Wire had to say about it. They said, it's been 5 years since the world saw the death of Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man in the 2019 film Avengers Endgame, with countless heroes and the one big baddie. Endgame was the MCU's most ambitious project yet. With the future Avengers movies at stake, it seems that the MCU is not yet ready to let go of its old heroes. Having some veteran actors in their collection, Marvel Studios has allegedly told 2 Avengers stars to clear their schedules for Avengers 5. After Iron Man Sacrifice in Avengers Endgame, Benedict Cumberbatch Doctor Strange became the de facto leader of the Avengers, with Captain America retiring and Thor often on his adventures. Doctor Strange was the most logical choice to become team captain. Surviving the events of Endgame, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange is currently alive and doing well. Hence, Marvel Studios thought this might be a good time to recall some heroes. As per a recent tweet from Daniel RPK, Marvel Studios allegedly told Benedict Cumberbatch to clear his schedule. This is from Daniel RPK, what we just read up there. Whatever. Marvel Studios has reportedly told some Avengers actors to clear their schedules for upcoming Avengers 5 production, as they have figured out its direction. Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange is expected to return in the film. It goes on to say, and that's where some people are getting that Avengers 5. There's a rumor going on right now that maybe Secret Wars is going to be a 3-parter instead of a 2-parter. And they're thinking that this is going to be announced at SDCC. And they're thinking that maybe Avengers 5 is going to be some type of time runs out. And I don't know how you adapt time runs out with, again, the people we just named.
So, my fault, not to cut. What comes first, SDCC or the little Disney?
SDCC.
Okay.
D23 is after. So SDCC is like after. It's in June.
Now, or is it D23 still?
I think it's still. I don't know. But that's what that's what the rumor is right now. Some people are saying that maybe time runs out, because the original rumor that's what the Doctor Strange 3 film was going to be adapting, but don't know. So don't know much about that. This went on to say, the tweet mentioned that Marvel Studios wants some of the actors to clear their schedules so that they can work on Avengers 5. Of course, of the actors, Benedict Cumberbatch's name has been often spoken. It could be true that Strange could be the main lead of the newer Avengers and may have a much more important role than other heroes. Chris Hemsworth is also allegedly returning for Avengers 5. Our Mr. Doctor Strange is not the only pre-Endgame character returning to the film, as another report also indicates Chris Hemsworth is also expected to make his re-entry. And this is coming from with his last appearance as Thor in Taika Waititi's Thor: Love and Thunder. Oh shit! Thank you so much for that, Andre. It seems that Hemsworth needs a movie to redeem the character of Thor, to where he goes on to say Marvel told some Avengers actors to clear their schedules. Why do we keep reading this one? Again, Thor. They want Thor. Then it goes on to say, well, it cannot be confirmed or denied if the actors are indeed returning to the MCU. However, it could be true that they have been asked to clear their schedules, with Hemsworth starring in Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, and Benedict Cumberbatch portraying a role in Furasia, or whatever, however you say that, role in 2 upcoming projects. It could be a very real possibility that we may get to see Thor and Doctor Strange in Avengers 5 after all. As of now, there have been several theories as to which character will appear in the upcoming Avengers films. It seems that Thor, Doctor Strange, Captain America, formerly Falcon, and the Winter Soldier are the top choices alongside young superheroes. Avengers 5, previously called King Dynasty, is set to release date May 1st, 2026. So,
Andre, What the super chat said, who would be on your Avengers team?
Ooh, that's a very good
chat.
question. Thank you for that super
Assuming
chat,
he's
Andre.
talking about MCU characters, or maybe...
Yeah, no, let's keep it MCU characters. Characters currently in the MCU, because that's all we can work with. So characters currently in the MCU. My team... I mean, what's the threat, though? What is the threat in Avengers 5? Like, you know, I don't know. So, okay, let's just assume the threat is Kang. Let's assume it's Kang. I mean, they say it's still Kang, so let's assume it's Kang. So if we're handling Kang, and if it's a variant of Kang that's akin to something we saw in, or maybe stronger than what we saw in Quantumania, my team is going to be one. Since we're already going to be in New York, I'll keep Spider-Man. Spider-Man on there. I would have to go with. Damn, a lot of people are dead. Shit. Damn. Shang-Chi with the rings. I mean, we don't really know too much more than what we know, but Shang-Chi. I'm trying to think of strong, formidable heroes here. Damn, there's no one in who's here. Of course, Thor and Doctor Strange. I've got them on there.
I mean, I'd go Doctor Strange, Thor. Can I go
Monica?
Can I go Namor?
I mean, the world is at stake, so I'm sure he's game to help.
Shit. Bro, I don't know. It's weird. It's crazy. 'Cause if I get to write them, I'm going Hulk. Like, if I can write Bruce. But if it's
okay.
Taika writing.
if it's okay, yeah, Bruce, but Hulk. Him is the Hulk. I'm still going Hawkeye too.
Him? Can I go Hank Ant-Man?
Hank Ant-Man? Shit, he wants to die.
That's how I know he finna do whatever. That nigga to crash out of the group.
I would go with the Hulk too. So I've got Spider-Man, Hulk, Thor, Doctor Strange, Monica, and Shang-Chi.
I think I'm gonna do the same thing, but
I need one more like heavy hitter. Well, no, I've got Thor and Hulk and Monica.
No, Thor there, Hulk there.
Monica's there. That's with the pieces I've got to play with. That's I think who I'd go with. And honestly, I wouldn't mind the Namor one.
If I could say fuck it and throw Wanda on there too. I mean,
Yeah, I was thinking Wanda too, but yeah, thinking Wanda.
I mean, you can't really lose at that point. Bitch that's rewriting shit.
Yeah.
America Chavez is a pull. Blues House. I mean,
she is.
That I can see it. She can do some crazy shit.
Grace said, "Damn, nobody said Carol." I fuck with Carol, I do, but when I got Monica, I've already got a Captain Marvel.
It's not, man. I'm just thinking MCU wise, and I don't know. Carol's cool, but
I'm not going She-Hulk.
She doesn't work well in a team.
Yeah, I wasn't choosing She-Hulk. She got beat up by
fucking
what's her name? Titania. She got beat up by Titania.
Greg said Gaia. I don't even count.
Hell no. Fuck no. Hell no.
I don't even know what she is.
Get ready to be mad. Midnight Suns. People naming a Midnight Suns team. Rumor is she's gonna be on that team. So, yeah, no. Hell no. Not no damn Gaia.
Well, last time I heard, they weren't even talking about fucking Doctor Strange on the Midnight Suns because he's gonna die. So. That's from what I heard last. So
last thing I heard, strange news was they want him leading the Illuminati, 616 Illuminati team or whatever the fuck universe we're in, 616 999. They want him leading the Illuminati. Yeah, but I feel like that would just make the most sense too. I mean, he saw the 838's Illuminati. I feel like this is the time to bring. I mean, it's Secret Wars. It's the time to bring a fucking Illuminati team together. I'm curious, though, who do you think, since we're asking these questions, who is the MCU's Illuminati? Actually, I take that back. The rumor is it is a multiversal Illuminati team. So
just anyone that I think they're gonna have Strange,
some form
them
of
doing
Professor X,
Fantastic
maybe.
Four. I assume Reed's there.
Maybe
Hopefully.
maybe Reed's already a part of it. Maybe
Yeah.
there is maybe Strange has already put it together.
I mean, because here's my thing. I don't know. I'm a crazy ass nigga when it comes to this shit. So, like, Doctor Strange had the Time Stone. Fantastic Four's in the 60s. We don't know what this nigga
That's what I'm
knows,
saying.
So,
That's what I'm saying. And Reed being the fucking genius he is, we don't know if Reed is able. This Reed is already knowing about, time travel or stepping into other dimensions and universes and things like that. Maybe they do meet already. We don't know. You got to take yourself too. The Illuminati's already been on Marvel's mind since Iron Man 2. The Illuminati app was on Iron Man's phone. So I don't, we don't speculation that was a part of whatever Illuminati. But
honestly, if that's the case, I'd probably take Namor off that Avenger team. And go
put him on the Illuminati. I mean, he was
And
before they deemed him too extreme.
You said Charles?
I feel. I mean, Charles is just too important.
Mm-hmm.
So I would feel some form of Charles is going to be a part of the Illuminati.
If they fuck around and they do fucking some.
It could be Magneto.
It's gonna be Cassandra Nova or
Oh
something.
God, they might do some shit like that. So you won't have. Now, okay, and I'll play with the idea. I know I just put out a big video about it, but I'll play with the idea. Maybe you get your multiversal T'Challa there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where your
we talked
multiversal.
about the possibility of the 60s, all that.
Yeah. So maybe that's where you get
Even,
your.
yeah, different timeline, different.
They could do it. I mean, that's the best time to do. I've been saying do it, but I
We've
don't
been
know.
saying that you have the chances
Yeah.
to do it if you're gonna do it right and actually want to do it and fucking make another $1 billion like he's your $1 billion character and shit.
Yep.
If you're just inserting him, so you're like, here, shut the fuck up, y'all, and he's here. I mean,
But I've also
then
seen.
I don't really want him.
Well, that
like,
too. That too.
When you
I don't
want
really want him
something,
that
and
way.
it's like, here, shut the fuck up, and it's like, damn. I don't
It's just
want
that's
it no
it's just
more.
dangling the keys, and they're gonna be like, okay, he's gone. And I've said this too before about it. Well, I haven't, not this part, but this I've seen the rumors about this people saying if it is a multiversal Avengers team, it could be. And again, I remember how I said in that video, everything is outside of T'Challa in the MCU when it comes to the Black Panther franchise. The rumor is it may not even be a T'Challa. It may be T'Chaka, a younger version of T'Chaka, which would be I forget the actor's name that played him in the Black Panther film and the opening of the film, but him reprising his role because he has already reprised his voice as T'Chaka in What If. So people are saying he may reprise his role in some form or fashion and be a part of this multiversal Illuminati team. And again, it's outside of T'Challa. I don't try to discourage when we talk about T'Challa, but I'm just looking at the way that Marvel is kind of looking at it. So you might get the multiversal version there, or you might get T'Chaka, or hell, somebody else. I don't know, but it's possible. So those. Xavier, Doctor Strange, maybe T'Challa, Reed. But if it's multiversal, is it just going to be what the MCU comic? Yeah, is it going to be actual like? For the 838 Illuminati, it was supposed to be Balder at one point. Mm-hmm. They really did try to do the Iron Man Tom Cruise deal, just didn't work. Who are some others that they had in there? It was Daniel Craig as Balder.
Even the Miss Captain Marvel they had on there, and the Peggy they had there. Those are two random pulls.
And you have to think too. We may even see multiple Illuminati teams because
was Black Bolt on the Illuminati?
Black Bolt, yeah, Black Bolt.
Okay.
And the reason we may see multiple Illuminati teams is because in the comics, I forget what it was. What's it called? What's the device that Reed built that allowed them to see into?
I know it.
Into other universes. They could monitor other universes, see what they were doing, and things like. I forget what the device was called. Somebody will say it in the comments though. But so we might. Who's to say Reed doesn't have that device? That device isn't built. We might see other Illuminati teams because we might. We're not done with 838's Illuminati team like that. That's just not done. We're not done with 838. So with Reed gone, you might see, because you have to. Emily Blunt said, "I don't want to commit to multiple 10-year, 12-year plus films." She never said I won't cameo. So maybe Krasinski's had talks with her. Maybe Marvel's talked with her. We might see a Sue in the place of Reed on the Illuminati in 838. You know, it's possible. We could see Iron Man. Tom Cruise's Iron Man in the 838. You know, the reason we don't see a lot of the heroes in the 838 is because they're all retired. So we could see other retired heroes come into the fold of that. You know, Magneto's in that universe from what the rumors were, from what they were going to do with that whole scene, the lobotomy of Wanda and everything that they were going to do. So because the Ultron program worked in 838, the heroes don't have to be heroes. It was what Iron Man wanted, you know, a suit of armor and across the world. So that's why you see Wanda with her kids and retired and still having the powers of, you know, who she is, but retired, being a mom. So you could see other retired heroes coming in from the 838 and all those type of things. But I think that we are probably going to see multiple. The bridge. Thank you. Thank you, D Stizzle. It is the bridge. So we could see multiple teams, Illuminati teams. But yeah. Anybody else say anything before we move to the next one?
Gray said, since Namor logic is prevalent, could the Young Avengers be set up for a version of the Stanford incident?
Wait, say it again. I see it.
Since Namor logic is prevalent, could the Young Avengers be set up for a version of the Stanford incident?
Nate Moore. Well, I mean, is Nate Moore's logic even still prevalent? Nobody's heard from that brother. I guess we'll have to wait to see. I'll have to wait to honestly see exactly what Falcon Winter Soldier is going to be, since that was the last thing I knew that Nate Moore was attached to.
Yeah. Beast Diesel said an OG Defender squad with Strange, Hulk recast, Namor recast, Silver Surfer, and Valkyrie recast.
Yeah, it'd be dope.
And then D. Stiesel said She-Hulk works as a reserve Fantastic Four member, but she has way more stable history on Avengers than Bruce.
Yeah, she does work on, you know, I always forget she did work with the Fantastic Four for quite a while, actually. But yeah, with West Coast Avengers, she does have a much more stable resume.
Dalton said, I'm excited for Young Avengers the most. Kate Bishop and Kamala Khan are about to have the most electrifying chemistry.
I'm not going to sit and say I'm not interested in Young Avengers. I think I've said that for a while. It's because of what... I know they're not doing Children's Crusade. I'm not going to get my hopes up and think that they are. And maybe they're adapting some... I mean, older rumors were that they were adapting some type of form of that with Agatha and all that, but I don't know anymore. So we'll have to wait to see what Young Avengers is going to be. But I'm interested because in some of the younger Avengers that are going to be on the team. I'm wanting to see how strong or what are they going to do with Wiccan? What are they going to do with Speed? Is Hulkling going to be in it? So there's some questions. Kid Loki, we're supposed to see that kid reprise that role.
Johnny said, no, Shuri, she is the Black Panther, LOL.
No Shuri.
And then a bunch of people naming their Avengers rosters. Double M said Hulk, Thor, Photon, War Machine, Shang-Chi, and Strange.
Blue, I was going to say Beast too, because that universe is supposed to, Monica is currently in that universe. That universe is supposed to play a big role. I guess that's where the current X-Men are, or the X-Men, or whatever. I don't know if it's going to be the MCU X-Men. I don't know how they're going to do that still. But anyway, the X-Men. So I was going to say Beast too. Maybe he's already a part of it, but Beast said in that post-credit scene,
I don't remember what he said.
He said something like that shouldn't be possible, or I don't know how that's possible, or something he said like that. So, I mean, if he doesn't know how that's possible, is he on the Illuminati team, like multiversal Illuminati team? But I don't know. Maybe some form of Beast is, though. Maybe not that Beast, but some form of Beast probably is. I mean, he did join the team after who? It was after Namor. Was it after they fucking deemed Namor to be too fucking extreme? And so they brought, was it Beast? I think that's when they brought in Beast. Or somebody died and they brought in Beast. I can't remember. But yeah. So anyway, we'll move on to the next thing here. The next thing we'll talk about is just Blade. So there's been some Blade updates here, and again, these are some, you guys may have already seen some of these, I'm not sure, but Blade, just to keep it kind of short and simple with you, Blade will reportedly start filming this summer in Mexico. The film is said to be stripped down, get this, stripped down to Mahershala Ali killing vampires. Go figure. So they, I guess, have, after several rewrites, after Mahershala Ali being upset, after firing so many different directors, after, you know, this actor leaving and this actor coming on and it being centered around his daughter, I guess they finally decided, you know what we should do? Why don't we just take a character that kills vampires and make a movie about the character killing vampires? I mean, holy shit. So, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy that it took us from 2019, when it was announced in SDCC, to now to realize that, hey, this character kills vampires, just make him kill vampires. That's all anybody ever wanted to see. That's all everybody was ever talking about. They wanted to see just Blade being Blade. I mean, I tried to watch the opening scene of Blade 2 the other day, you know, with the whole, you know, going into the underground and killing the vampires and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just sitting here watching it. I'm like, damn, with today's VFX and Mahershala Ali, I mean, yeah, he's what, 79, but with, you know, Mahershala Ali and today's VFX and things like that, this would be dope. This would be really, really dope. But again, we are just now realizing how dope it could be to have him just killing vampires. But they went on to say Blade will reportedly be set in a modern day MCU and will tie into the Midnight Suns project. The film script was written by Michael Green, Blade Runner 2099 or 2049, and he also wrote Blue Eyed Samurai, which I know you said you care for, but I love Blue Eyed Samurai. I thought it was good.
No, I wasn't able to get into it. I don't know if I dislike it, but I don't know. First two, I don't really know if the animation style was for me. So
I said the same thing at first. I really did.
Get into it, but I still haven't, like, really same way with Invincible. Like, first two episodes, I fall asleep, and then I just have not sat down and watched it.
You got to give Blue Eyed Samurai another chance. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty damn good. So the writer for that is what wrote Michael Green. He wrote the new script, and so we're going to see exactly what this Blade film is going to be. But this is what, thoughts on this revelation that Blade killing vampires works.
I'm not trying to be the guy that poops on everything, but I'm not even trying to talk about this shit. Like, bro.
Like, who would have
that
thought?
shit honestly pissed me off. Because, nigga, it took 5 fucking years to... Oh, my God. Like,
5
that's
years.
That's like taking... Oh, my God, we're going to make a Hulk story. And you take 5 years to make the nigga green. Yes. Like, I don't get why...
That's what it is.
I don't know. I don't get that shit, bro. I'm not trying to shorten the subject. You can read whatever, but I genuinely don't want to talk about this shit because
I don't blame you.
I thought maybe I can be a writer. I'm not gonna lie, because that's what I thought the shit was supposed to be. I mean, there's already, like you said, you just rewatched Blade 2 a little bit, so there's already 2 movies, and then there's comics. So I'm not understanding the difficulty in
and then you got Trinity.
coming up with some sort of plot. Like, you're putting the nigga in games. The Midnight Sun, like, you know who he is. I'm not understanding.
Right. Right.
It's pissing me off, honestly, reading this shit, like...
And then it makes you think back to the original rumor where it was like a lackluster fight, 2 lackluster fight scenes. So then it makes you think, then what were the fight scenes? Like, was it... Again, so it's a revelation. That's what they've come up with. That's what they've now said. So it goes on to say, Marvel's Ali... his endeavor to bring Vampire Hunter back to screen may end up making its current 2025 release, as a new scoop suggests it comes from Jeff Snyder, co-host of the Hot Mic podcast. From what Snyder has heard, the new Blade is scheduled to film this summer in Mexico, and it will go back to the basics of the series. They are focused on one thing and one thing only: Blade killing vampires. According to the latest roundup of rumors passed along to comic basics and ex-users such as Alex from Cosmic Circus, this is a new direction for the film. Brought on by corrections to the script. That's so crazy to me. A new direction for a Blade film is him killing vampires. What was the fucking first direction?
How many directions are there? Like,
that's crazy.
You think that shit is a one-way road.
That is crazy
Blade,
to me.
Daywalker, the nigga kills vampires. I don't know what the intersection is, trying to figure out some sort of plot with his daughter. Like,
that's
no,
what I'm saying.
Stop trying to add all this extra shit. Like,
it's crazy.
And that's why I'm saying, I'm not trying to be negative, but it's like a lot of the shit they're doing stinks. Like, we're going to go from a fucking roster of Sam Wilson, She-Hulk, that bullshit to a Blade movie. Or I don't know if it comes out before or after, but that they're just now, if it took them this long to make it about killing vampires, good lord, I don't even know if I want to see it.
I'm telling you.
It might. I
Disappoint
understand
you.
his frustration. If he left,
I would understand. I'm telling you. It's like, they're making the new Jurassic Park movies right now. It's like the revelation as, days before the film or before final production is, what if we added dinosaurs? That might really tip the shit off over the edge. It just doesn't make, I don't understand. They went on to say, until recently, it was claimed by various sources that the plot included Lilith and the Ebony Blade, with Mia Goth supposedly cast as the villain. She would wield the mystic weapon of the Black Knight and try to use the blood of Blade's daughter to create a race of Daywalkers. Initially, it was thought that Blade's daughter and Black Knight would turn up. Eternals seemed to tease the latter appearance in the post-credit scene, but Dane Whitman actor Kit Harington contradicted the speculation. He said, "I don't know, though. The honest answer is nothing is in the works at the moment. If they decide to use the character in something or as a solo thing, I'd be very excited by it, but I don't think this is planned at the moment," Harrington said via Screen Rant. I do remember that quote a few weeks ago. So,
doing shit.
The thing too, I don't understand why I thought Black Knight was going to be in it, because that I thought was the whole, well, maybe not in that. I mean, I guess that doesn't, him talking to Black Knight doesn't indicate that he would be in that film. I thought maybe more so for a Midnight Suns thing anyway. Yeah, so that's just kind of shocking there. What they're doing with Blade. But
Gray said we're making a Black Panther movie 5 years later. He's black. But no, for real, like, I don't know. Reading all that shit, they're trying to do too much. Even going back to that Eternal shit, if they had no plans of connecting that Blade and none of them, why do it? Like, you're just doing shit for no reason, trying to get fans excited about some shit.
They have a lot of plot
holes. In a little post-credit scene or end of the movie, whatever, to get fans excited to go see a movie or some shit. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like not just like true Marvel comic book fans, but even MCU fans in general, like, I feel like they honestly deserve more. Like, they're good fans. I mean, when they're horrible fans and you give them bad shit, don't get me wrong. And Brie Larson, rare case, horrible fans to her as well. But for in general, they have a good audience. People who want to see their shit, even whenever it's not the best, they go buy tickets and shit like that. And so,
yeah,
I would think Marvel fans deserve more, just where they've put this company. And so for them to, I don't know. Gray said this was the stupidest shit he's heard, and I agree.
Telling you,
like,
it doesn't make sense.
It's stupid.
It doesn't make sense.
That's dead ass. Like, fucking make. There's so many examples. We like Captain America movie, and then like 5 years later, you're like, you know what? This nigga is American. This nigga is patriotic as hell. Like, and so I don't know. It's just back to sum it up, like he said, it's the stupidest shit
It's
I've seen
strange.
in a while.
Like I said,
That
it's
was
some
very
crazy
stupid.
revelation.
Like, I didn't even want to get into calling it all that because I knew I would shit, but this is stupid. Like,
It is. It is, but that is what the film now is. And
but hey, at least we know we're not getting it.
at least you know what you're getting now.
Hopefully.
At least
This
you know
could
what
be
you're
another. We could be back in here in 2 weeks.
Oh well, there's always new Blade. There's always new Blade things. Maybe next week Mahershala's mad again.
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe he does walk in 2 weeks and we're back. You know, we're just gonna hire a woman now.
Yeah, but
What if we
maybe.
made him white?
maybe. But with all this Blade news does come some of the other Blade news. And some of the other Blade news is, since we are in the multiversal saga, they are talking about how Wesley Snipes is already signed on for multiple multiversal saga projects.
Give more of a fuck about that.
This is what they say about that. It says Wesley Snipes is reportedly allegedly signed with Marvel Studios to return as Blade in multiple multiversal saga projects, and that's coming from Daniel RPK. But this is also coming from a news scoop from My Time to Shine. She posted this today. She said she says that Wesley Snipes was unfortunately added to Deadpool and Wolverine. Then she went on to say, in quotation or in quotes here, or parentheses rather, if you ask why, unfortunately, look what he did to Halle Berry. Now, for those of you that do not know, back in the 90s, Halle Berry dated, like most of these actors and actresses, they all date a lot of within the Hollywood, and she made her rounds to Wesley Snipes. So she and Wesley were dating back in the late 90s, and it's alleged, it's rumored, and I say rumored, I'm not discounting anyone's story or anything like that. Actually, I am gonna, unless it comes from Halle's mouth herself, and Halle herself has never said that Wesley Snipes put hands on her. But there was rumors back in the day, because she did and she's talked about it she's talked about it, in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. I mean, she talked about it when it initially happened. She says that a Hollywood star that she was dating, that was well known in the Hollywood ring of stars, hit her so hard that she lost 80% of her hearing in one of her ears or something like that. Busted her eardrum, blood, she said, went on the ceiling and all that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. Now, people assumed that it was the R&B singer that she was dating, who was it, Christopher Williams or whatever his name was, the R&B singer. People assumed it was him. Well, he said in an interview, I'm sick of people pinning this on me, blah, 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 blah. It was Wesley Snipes. Well, then somebody else that she was dating, I forget who it was, had said that, kind of corroborated that story, said he's not lying. And then her was she married to the dude? What's his name? What is his name? Damn, what is that man's name?
It's all news to me. I wasn't even born.
Well, see, so it's like anyway, I'm bringing all this up to say, because My Time to Shine Hello said, if you want to know, unfortunately, because there were people under that didn't know either. There were people under that tweet saying, like, well, what did Wesley Snipes, why Wesley Snipes and Halle Berry, why do they have history? I think you play a very dangerous game when you play the game that My Time to Shine Hello is playing. And when you have a following like she has, it's the same, it's beseeching a black man's name. One, you do not know, this is all rumor, this is all speculation. Halle Berry herself, who you are saying it's unfortunate for Halle Berry has never come out and said, oh, Wesley Snipes slapped fire out of my fucking ear and I lost 80% out of him. She never said that. She said that somebody elite in the circles, in the Hollywood circles, was the person that hit her, and that happened. And then from past relationships that she has had, those people have come out and said, oh, it was Wesley Snipes, but she has never said it's Wesley Snipes. So you cannot take the word of the person, regardless of, I can hear some people, well, they were dating her, you don't think that they had conversations or whatever. You, again, this is what happens when you put yourself too deeply into these celebrities' lives. You don't know these people. Stop thinking you know these celebrities because that you like their tweets all the time, or they share with you what what type of mocha they got that morning. You don't know these fucking people. So stop thinking that you know these fucking people. We don't know the conversations Halle Berry has had. You don't know the conversations that her and Wesley Snipes have had or whatever. So I think you play a very dangerous game when you are My Time to Shine Hello and you are out there putting out this type of stuff. But that's unfortunate for, and I'm going to get on somebody else too in just a second. That's unfortunate for Halle Berry. And then to take the same disdain that I have for right now for My Time to Shine Hello over to the Geeky Cast. The Geeky Cast too did the exact same thing today and retweeted that and said, why would he even be on set if they have issues and blah 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 blah. Then titled it up with, well, him and Ryan Reynolds have issues also, so why would he even be, because he's rumored to show up in Deadpool and blah blah blah, so why would he be on the set of Deadpool? You start to sell misinformation when you have a platform like that and you got as many followers as these bums have, you have a responsibility. And that responsibility is to spread the right information, regardless of your bias or regardless of how you might feel about said situation or whatever. And I know that a lot of people are putting a lot of emphasis, as they should be, on domestic violence and people being hit and abused and whatever like that. But again, when you don't know the facts, just like you did not know the facts with Jonathan Majors, and look how that turned out. You start to spread misinformation. You make people look at other folks crazy. People that didn't even know this shit, like you didn't know this about Wesley Snipes or Halle Berry. There were people that did not know this in the comments getting fed misinformation. Oh, Wesley Snipes is this, or he's that, or he's that. Now have turned a different eye on to Wesley Snipes. Again, you have a platform, you should use your platform. So the Geeky Cast said what they said about Ryan Reynolds, and Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes do not have fucking issues. They were on the set of Trinity because Ryan Reynolds, for those of you that know, played in, obviously, Blade Trinity. And Ryan Reynolds' personality, we all know Ryan's personality. Wesley Snipes is a method actor. Him being a method actor, he was always in character on the Trinity set. So he would distance himself even between takes. He would go do like weird-ass vampire-esque shit and stand in a corner and not talk to his castmates. And Ryan Reynolds, being the personality he was try to get him to laugh all the time in between takes or during takes or whatever. And Wesley just wasn't going for it. So Ryan, said in interviews, does the guy hate me? I think he hates me, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. So where you get from that those two hate each other when he was just doing method acting and Ryan was being Ryan Reynolds and then said, I don't know if he hates me or whatever. Stop fucking spreading misinformation about black folks like that. Especially about black stars like that. Again, look what happened with Jonathan Majors. You have a responsibility when you have these fucking platforms. So Wesley Snipes is supposed to be showing back up in Deadpool, if the rumor is true. I don't know, grain of salt, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't fucking know. But the misinformation about what's going on between him and being unfortunate that he's on the set, kick rocks with that shit. Kick rocks with that bullshit. So, if you're excited about Wesley Snipes showing back up, because again, Marvel wouldn't be Marvel today if it wasn't for Wesley Snipes and his contributions, don't let people on Twitter fool you and tell you that no, Wesley Snipes' Blade wasn't the first Marvel film that blasted Marvel into being the company that they are cinematically. It was Wesley Snipes. Blade started that shit. So, again, your mileage may vary, but you may be happy that Blade's coming back. You may not be happy that Wesley Snipes' Blade is coming back, but maybe he'll even be back before fucking Mahershala Ali's Blade steps on the screen. I don't know. It's just the misinformation for me that I couldn't stand that pissed me off today. But and I wanted to comment on that. And I'm definitely tagging, because I know My Time won't see it, but the Geeky Cast will. I'm gonna tag them in that shit for sure. Thoughts on anything?
Shit. I don't even know. I mean, anything new? This shit's the usual. I mean, shit's the usual, and I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time repeating what you've already said in a different font, but we expect this type of shit. I mean, anytime I read headlines, that I don't know, like, miseducation should be a crime, honestly. Like, if you're an educator or have some sort of following and you're just purposefully doing shit for clicks or engagement, but it's like, some of us have comprehension skills and we're able to, okay, we know what you're doing. Some people on the internet are, oh my god, Jonathan Majors did this, yep, he's an abuse, he does it, oh my god, Ezra Miller did, like, it's never, like, nobody ever really, like, sits down how we sit down and read the whole article, or for the most part. Most people sit down, read the headline, read the tweet headline, read a couple of the funny ass comments, and then that's all it is. But it's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't have any issues with anything going on because, I mean, like you said, I wasn't born, but at the same time, it's like, if she herself
She's never said it.
came out and was seeking justice upon the person that did it, I mean, what can we do? Like, if she never name dropped or was even legally seeking justice, I mean, that's how I feel about everything. One, shit really never be my business. Like, even whenever it's be people I know and some shit like that, I'm like, it's not my business. Like, yeah, I may feel bad or I know what you're going through and I can understand, but I gotta go to work, I gotta get paid, I gotta feed my dog. I mean, I just got bigger fish to fry. Like, that's really been,
I feel it.
and so how people are so invested into other people's lives in the sense of digging back for something so long and then being able to question someone's integrity, he's been around Hollywood for so long, so I feel like if there was anything negative about Wesley to put out, we would have had it.
Especially in this day and time when everybody's business is getting aired.
I don't know, for people to try and do shit like that for clicks, and then, I don't know, a lot of, hate always talking about race, but a lot of white people do exploit black names just for clicks because they know, oh my god, this oh my god, this nigga did something, like, versus like, white person did, no, you know, it's like, no one really cares about that, like, oh, okay, cool. Like, but oh my god, this crazy ass nigga is this and that, oh yeah, let's see, okay, boom. So I don't know, I don't really read too much into that shit. I mean, if Marvel had some sort of issue with Wesley Snipes, he obviously there wouldn't be any debates of him coming back for Deadpool at all, and I don't think he'd even be in Hollywood successfully acting as he is.
I mean, we also don't know, you know, I don't know, and I'm not going to pretend that I do know Halle and his relationship at all. I don't know Halle Berry or him, but, you know, if they had issues too, we don't know what scenes, if he's going to be, you know, this Blade is going to be in the Void maybe with the rest of these characters, these cameoed characters or whatever. I don't know how that works, how that's working. But would Halle not object? Like, I don't want to be on set with him or anything like that. And then if she objected to that, then would that not be Marvel once again being hypocritical? Because, again, you fired Jonathan Majors for hurting that girl's finger. But you would allow Wesley Snipes to come back in multiple saga projects for abusing, for doing what you fired Majors for, allegedly doing what you fired Majors for. So, you know, and I said hypocritical again because, again, I'm always going to, you know, the recast stuff that's going on. So it's just like, yeah, I don't know. Again, it's just the misinformation part for me. That's why Twitter now has that thing. If you say some false ass shit, they'll follow it up with like, no, that's actually not true. So, yeah.
Community notes be clutching sometimes.
Yeah, them damn community notes, so.
But no, yeah, I mean, and even just because, like I said, I don't like always making this about race and shit, because, like, we watched Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Like I said, miseducation is a crime, in my opinion, and so anyone who's out here trying to publicly feed large audiences wrong information so that it benefits them in some way, whether it's money, clicks, views, this and that, I don't believe in that shit. That shit really should be illegal, because it's not, bro, there's kids on the internet, kids see shit and then they form opinions on the way they grow up and go to school and talk to people, and I don't know. There's a whole deep rabbit hole we could go down with that shit, but it's just a simple fact of miseducating shit can ruin niggas' lives, ruin anyone's lives, so I don't know. Yeah. I never understood that shit.
Very true.
As much as it can personally, I guess, help someone's channel or some shit. It's not like I'd ever come on here and be like, y'all know what Tom Holland did. Like, I would never
punch that baby.
Y'all know, hey.
And Zendaya laughed.
Hey, y'all not gonna believe this, but guess what I heard Tom Holland did to Zendaya? Like, I'd never come on here and do some rant, so I don't know why.
Some Wendy Williams shit.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
And now she wants to marry him. Yeah. So, but we'll move to the next thing. Next and last topic here is just what's going on with the X-Men. So again, this is not really news here. This kind of came out. I don't pretend to know these people, these scoopers, but Daniel RPK. I feel a lot of time with Daniel scoops. Because the scooping game, I guess, is one of those things where, you want to keep the scoops going. I don't know how he makes his money. I don't know if it's from his Patreon, people paying for scoops, which is wild to me. And let me just give up a little pause, side diversion here. The picture of the first, not official picture, but first leaked kind of photo of Red Hulk came out today. And it's not like a picture of like a BF effects. It's like a drawing of what they, yeah.
Like a sketch?
Yeah, but it's colored. And
I didn't see that one.
I'll pull it. It's right here. I liked it. This picture right here. So this picture came out today. And so Can We Get Some Toast shared this on his paid. If you're a paid subscriber, you got this. Mind you, 15 minutes after he posted, it's live in my subscribers, all paid subscribers, blah, blah, blah. This Comicology or whoever posted it for free. Whoa. That's why I said, who the fuck are you people? Why are you paying for scoops? I will never, ever, ever will I pay for some Marvel news. But anyway, to divert back. Daniel, I don't know if Daniel sometimes he gets, there's no news and he's just resharing news like, oh, it's been a couple months, maybe they forgot, so let me reshare it, because he reshared it. This was talked about. Now this is the original article here. This was done by the Geek Tyrants, and this is 4 months ago. And I remember 4 months ago we talked about this. If you go back and you look at kind of the older live streams, but the rumor was it was still going to be female focused, but they also coupled with that rumor was it also wasn't going to be Magneto wasn't going to be the main villain. They were going to go a different direction, and the direction was rumored to be Mr. Sinister, live action Mr. Sinister. So when they say female focused, the wording could have been better, but obviously too, let's look at this too. This is not an official announcement from Marvel Studios. This is from some person who heard it from some person who's got sources, and now, a game of telephone, maybe by the time it got to Daniel, he's like, oh, it's going to be a female-focused X-Men. We don't know that for sure, and even if it is a female-focused X-Men team, and I don't think that that's what Marvel's going to do. I don't think that they are going to take this, especially knowing the success that they have with 97. They're not stupid to that success. They know that how successful 97 is. They've discussed how successful 97 is. Hell, 97 is so damn successful. They want to do as many seasons as they can. They don't want to stop at 3. They want to do as many seasons as they possibly can, and they also want to put it on the big screen and do an animated movie. They are loving the hell out of what 97 is doing right now. So I would hope that they are paying attention to why 97 is so successful. And you and I texted about this earlier, why it's so successful, and that's because of the perfect balance that it is. 97 focuses on the female characters. I mean, anyway, who's thinking about gender when they're watching 97 anyway? I'm not sitting here thinking about, damn, we sure did focus on that male character a long time. Like, no one's sitting here thinking about gender like that in 97. And that's the way it should be, because it's like you're so immersed in the story, you're so immersed in the character development, you're so immersed in just the brilliance that is 97 that none of that fucking shit matters. You're not thinking about, oh, well, this is so female focused. And again, I said it on Twitter. Why does it have to be female focused? Why can't, if that is what you're doing, why can't it be, why can't you elevate the male mutants as well as the female mutants? That's to me, that's what X-Men has always done fantastically in comics and on the big screen. They are able to take the characters, take these stories, and make you, and it's well balanced. It's well balanced. Now, is that to say that the X-Men don't have the most badass female characters in Marvel? They do. The most badass female characters in Marvel come from X-Men, and that's not just in my opinion thing. I think if you asked a lot of Marvel fans, they'd agree to that. A lot of the badass female characters come from the X-Men, and I don't just think, though, that they're just going to focus. I think that maybe that one of the female X-Men may be one of the leads or something like that, or we don't. Maybe this is a time we also don't know how this X-Men team is going to be formed. We don't know who's on the team right now. This could be a different type of setting up of the team to where maybe it's more of Storm centric, but you still got Charles and everybody else there. Maybe it's more Rogue centric. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe they're just focusing more on, I don't know. I don't know how that's, but I don't think that they're just going to say, okay, well, fuck Cyclops, fuck Beast, fuck Gambit, fuck everybody else. We're not going to, pay attention to them, and we're just going to make this superhero, this female centric superhero film to where it's just following the I don't think that that's what they're going to do with the X-Men. And if that is what they are going to do with the X-Men, then and again, this is not me being misogynistic for those people in the comments. It's dead on arrival.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that's not me saying that female heroes cannot lead on their own. But what I'm saying is when you have characters like the X-Men, people want to see some of that male masculinity in those films. People want to see Logan doing badass fucking Logan shit, ripping people apart with his fucking adamantium claws. People want to see Scott doing bad. People want to see those male macho fucking Chad ass heroes. They do. They want to see your homeland. They want to see that. Like, the females are dope. They are. Like, Storm is fucking dope. Like, all the females here. You got Jubilee. You got Psylocke. You've got dope heroes here. But, people want to see those guys too. So I don't think that Marvel is going to then just dismiss them. I don't. So I think that kind of the wording of how Daniel put that out there is more, maybe it's to get people talking. Maybe it's clickbait stuff like we were talking about earlier. I don't know. But I would hope. Again, I don't know people at Marvel. I would hope they're not going to take that direction with it.
Yeah, no. I don't know why there always has to be, a centered whenever it's like a team. Like, whenever you make an Iron Man story, you center it around Iron Man as the main character. Whenever you're telling an Avengers story, you center it around the Avengers. Like, whenever you tell an X-Men story, you center it around whatever X-Men team you're promoting that story. But I don't really see the X-Men as anything to... If I'm watching the X-Men and ever feel like I'm watching just one character or some shit, that's the writer's fault. Because that is a whole team.
Right.
Where I'm supposed to be feeling like there's multiple... That's what they are. Like, I don't know what the debate is. It's every race, every male, female, people that go from male to female to female to male to fucking giant female to giant male to, I don't know. There's everything. There's purple niggas, there's silver niggas, there's futuristic niggas with wire, there's I don't know. Like, there's literally
that's what they
everything in the X-Men.
Right.
It's about people, some of them feel excluded sometimes, some of them feel more included sometimes. It's literally a story of a race that like, it's a human race with superpowers that are they're mutated humans. Like, I don't get what the fuck the debate is around centering shit, because there should be none of that shit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It should literally be a good story told about everyone in life. I mean, the inclusion should be everywhere. Everywhere should have representation, because
yeah, no, you're
blue
right.
Niggas.
You're right.
There's literally everything in that shit, and so I don't know why any writer would feel the need to get named to an X-Men job and be like, let me center it around. Boom. Let me center it around. Boom. Obviously there's your more their character like Storm. There's fucking Wolverine. There's the main team. There's hundreds of characters to dive in. That is a whole Marvel section
of its own.
That's what I was about to say. If you wanted to put them on their own and say, fuck the MCU,
do your
tell our
own
mutant stories
you
over
could.
here, and then maybe one day we'll combine Avengers versus X-Men for some story. They could do that with how many mutants there are. And so...
countless X-Men stories.
If we get any bad X-Men projects, that's literally the writers and directors' fault, because there's so much shit to choose from and so many real human elements to tell the story that it just doesn't make sense to center it around. I don't even think it makes sense to only center anything around Wolverine or Beast or any of the main characters, because them as a team is what makes it. Like we said, watching we've said this so many times, watching 97, like, this is what the MCU's missing.
Yeah.
Them fighting, like watching Gambit and Wolverine do moves together and shit, and them fucking tossing each other around. And then I don't know. That's what comic books are.
It's dope.
So
Yeah,
I don't know.
you're right.
I always have issues with that shit because source material's right there. I'm not the smartest in the world. I'm certainly not the biggest fan in the world in terms of knowing everything comic book wise, but I know enough to know that no X-Men story should be centered around
One character.
one race, one human, one character. We shouldn't get all male. We shouldn't get all female.
Right.
We shouldn't get all white. We shouldn't get all black. I mean, it's cool to tell certain little stories about it, but for a whole movie,
Right.
no.
Yeah,
know.
and something I want to point out what Blues House said. He said, "Crazy as 97 has been dope without being Wolverine focused," and that is so true.
Mm-hmm.
There's barely like that. Not one thing has been Wolverine focused
Shit,
at
even
all.
Charles.
Mhm.
Charles is in another world. I mean, they think he's dead, but he's on another planet or whatever. Even Magneto died. They're telling stories with everyone.
Yeah, D Stizzle who said rumors like this sound like bait and gag, and that's what I was thinking too. It's the wording. It's that type of wording that gets fans riled, that gets people out of their, for no reason, but gets people up in arms because they hear, oh, it's female centric.
Well, people love to talk
Yeah.
about that woke shit.
Yeah, well, now
This woke.
Yeah, now I'm upset because now why are we doing this? It's still the MCU, same formula, blah 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 blah. But this is what Screen Geek had to say. They said Marvel Studios is currently working on bringing the X-Men to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Then it says the acquisition of the X-Men's rights has been most discussed topic since Disney bought 20th Century Fox. However, it looks like the inevitable MCU X-Men movie could be quite differently than expected, with a focus on the team's female characters. The X-Men film franchise has notably been led by characters including Wolverine, Beast, Jean Grey, Storm, Rogue, and Professor X. The X-Men superhero team consists of an ensemble of varying characters, as shared by a new rumor. However, this could be exchanged for a focused on a female characters. And again, that just because they say focus on female characters, that does not mean, okay, we're about to take all of these guys out and replace them with female heroes and it's just going to be a female-centered X-Men film. That's not. Maybe something going on with Jean makes her this, more centered of the story or something like that. I don't know. But I just don't. I feel like if they did that and you waited this, and again, I don't believe they are, but if let's play the game hypothetically, if they did that and you waited this long to introduce the X-Men, well, fuck, that you really just
Shot yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not even the foot. Maybe
Dead.
Something. I was about to say maybe something a little more dangerous.
Yeah. Because that's one thing that everybody's been, adamant about. X-Men.
Hey, that's the bullshit. Like I text you, if you bring out Fantastic Four and that shit is a Sue story, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah. It says the interesting detail along with several others were shared by Daniel RPK. And it says on X, Twitter, here's what they shared all together. So this is the whole thing and not just the female-centric thing. It says Marvel wants to hire writers that do comedy and drama really well. Yeah, they don't want it to be purely comedic. And then it goes on to say to focus on the females and want to introduce characters that haven't appeared in live action to be alongside the main characters we all know. So the first part of that, the comedic side, when they want writers that can do comedy and drama well. I said on Twitter that's a red flag for me.
Big red flag.
Big red flag, because it's like, why is that the pitch you told writers? Can you do comedy? Like, don't get me wrong, I don't mind the funny moments in the MCU. Like I was mentioning, when I was talking about this earlier, it was like Infinity War, the whole conversation when they're on the ship between Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and the Guardians. Funny ass conversation. There are funny moments in the MCU. There are moments in the MCU that make me laugh. Things that Iron Man has said or whatever. But to me, when you are looking at a writer and you're saying
you're basing his job
on comedy. Yeah, you're basing his writing on comedy. So you're telling him we want it to be a mix of comedy and drama. No. No, that's not the like comedy. And I'm trying to just think
about
of
a
what's
video?
the comedy in the X-Men.
That's boom. Thank you. I was waiting for you to get to it. Not once have I even.
Yeah,
Maybe I've giggled a little in X-Men '97, but not
Yeah.
once have I been like, "Damn, this show is funny." I don't. You can go back and
Yeah.
watch our reviews. Not once. Not once have I read any X-Men story. Not once have I watched Rob explain any. That's the biggest X-Men fan I know.
Yeah.
Rob. Not once have I watched him explain a comic about the X-Men. I'll be like, that shit was fucking hilarious. Like, there's nothing funny about.
I don't.
Because, and here's why.
The genocide?
Like
Was the genocide funny?
They're a mutated human race that are like that is a real story. Like almost all of them have real plights and shit they've been through. And so, like you just said, yeah, they would. Humans, we have funny conversations. Some of us are funny, but like that does not mean that every conversation and story we tell and it has to have some type of comedic back or like base for it or some shit. Or I don't know. I don't get. We talked about Thor and Chris Hemsworth. I don't know why they always do that shit and like that. That's Anthony Mackie and Cap comedy. I don't know why they're trying to do all this comedy shit with all their main characters and shit, but it doesn't work.
No.
In my opinion.
No, I agree.
Tell these stories, you have to first get us to like the characters to find them funny, because I've never been like, I hate that nigga, but he's funny. Never have I once said that about anyone or anything, and I've been like, I hate it, but it's funny. Like, no. If I don't, so you got to get them to like the characters first, and then secondly, you have to be able to tell the story long enough for characters to even know, like, oh, they're like, you can't just watch 6 episodes or one movie and be like, oh, I know this character, they're funny, they're this and that. So the funny, like you, I don't know, like you just said, what is funny?
I
About
don't.
the
That's
X-Men?
what's funny about them.
If anyone can.
The drama, it's like, okay, yeah, there needs to be drama. There needs to be stakes. There needs to be, you need to pull at make people heartstrings and all that kind of stuff.
Why they just don't hire fans of the source material?
Yeah, there are people. There's that whole thing going around after the 5th episode of '97. Give the keys to Bo. Let Bo. But Bo's not the only one on that. As much as I've pointed out, but there's a team. There are a team of people behind him. I do worry though with the conversation, since this is X-Men. So with the conversation of, and I want to talk about this too later on, not today, but later on, with the conversation of, because Bo got asked today on Twitter, hey, are we going to see Kitty Pryde and Bobby in future seasons? To where he said, sadly, I cannot answer any questions on future seasons, with the sad face emoji. And that is a question though, with them wanting to do several seasons in an animated movie. I'm not saying that without Bo it can't be what it is, but do you lose that spirit? Do you lose you got to remember, he was the one that said you cannot come in this room if you're not a X-Men 97's fan. If you weren't a fan of the original or anything like that, or the comics, you cannot come in here. And anybody can stand up and say that and make that. But he also put in he's answering in-depth questions on Twitter. So he put a lot into. He's the head showrunner. I mean, he put a lot into this. The head writer. So do you lose a lot of what 97 is, the spirit of it, the electricness of it, how in-depth everything is, again, you've got people like Chris Conley who are over there that are on and things like that, but it's just, I don't know, it's a wider conversation for another time, but I do wonder how other seasons will do without him. Chase Conley. I do wonder how others will do without him, but anyway, the introducing characters that haven't appeared in live action, we've talked about that. Cool. Who they're going to be, I'm not sure. Not sure which characters they would do. Don't know. But I think it'd be dope. That's a good way to introduce other X-Men, other mutants that we haven't seen before. So, but it's the same thing, basically. The same thing that we've been talking about here with the X-Men. I think that rumor, or I think that what Daniel put out too, like he said, like everybody is saying, it's a lot of it is the wording of it. But I think that I don't think there's anything to worry about really with the X-Men. I really just think
I genuinely don't.
I think we're in good hands.
I think a lot of people on the internet just like getting clicks and headlines and shit.
Mm-hmm. I think just again,
I don't know
who's writing from
Marvel
'97.
has to be like the biggest idiots to fuck up Fantastic Four or anything X-Men mutant wise. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried about them until I see them fuck that up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, we'll have to wait to see. Obviously, the X-Men's coming sooner than we thought, but we'll have to wait to see. But questions always for you guys. Let us know down below in the comments what you think about the X-Men and some of the wording going on. Do you think it's kind of just clickbait? Do you think it's just to start, discussion to keep fans riled? I don't know. But if you're like us over here, again, I don't think there's anything to really worry about. And I'm just kind of going off of what I'm seeing with the X-Men currently. And I know it's animated, different project, different whatever, but it's still under Marvel Studios. So we'll have to wait to see who they hire and, whatever. But let us know what you guys are thinking. We'll touch those last few comments there.
Gray said, X-Men is at its best when they are soap opera drama themed.
Yeah, that's what I said, that drama theme. Yeah, lean heavy into that drama. But the comedy, leave that shit at home.
Let me see where. Chris said, maybe the comedy is for the downtime moments where the team is not fighting. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
when they're chilling.
that's fine.
Just, like I said, every day when me and you are daily talking, comedy is there. But like, I don't know, when serious shit is going down, and I think if we were trying to save the world or fighting, I don't think comedy is the main thing we're looking for. Grace said, they're a team who should all have their moments to shine, but Storm, Cyclops, Wolverine, and Rogue should get some badass action sequences.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Oh, God, why is Brave New World trending? Oh, because of the Hulk. Red Hulk. Oh, yeah, for those, this is, we didn't talk about this, but these are the, this is what Sam's suit will look like in the movie. And there's Torres's. I saw somebody say, why are you guys so mad? This is what a real Superman suit or superhero suit would look like in reality.
Boy, I'll watch niggas make superheroes.
I don't know. I feel like the Falcon suit could look, I mean, when you think about, where is the original?
I guess it's army green.
But where's I know it's not going to be comic, I know that, but where is the...
I was going to say, I know what fucking Danny's suit looks like, and it's not that bullshit.
Yeah.
And he got cargos on.
Oh.
Yeah, that nigga looks horrible.
Man. Nightcrawler looks dope.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to see that shit with the swords tomorrow.
Yeah, Nightcrawler looks dope.
Cannot wait. Scroll down a little bit, though. Click that one where that nigga flying behind him and shit. Like, I don't know. If I'm a nigga that's about to take over America and this is my foes, my enemies... Nigga, I'm chilling. Like, I'm about to pour a glass of scotch, I'll light a cigar.
I have said it over and over.
Take some edibles.
If Red Hulk is the villain, I don't understand what these two are doing to him. I don't get it. Maybe the leader, sure. Okay, I'll give you the leader. But Red Hulk? Yeah. Okay.
Raymond said, I'm fine with the Falcon suit. It's the same as the last one. What did y'all want? Feathers, plus he's in the beginning. I think it looks fine. My only gripe is it's too similar to Vulture's suit.
Well, I think my big gripe with it is it's too similar to all the MCU suits. It's just so...
My big gripe is that shit's ugly. I don't know. I don't like the army colorway.
I don't like the
visor.
visor.
But then again, I understand it. I'm not saying I don't understand it.
I wish his visor could have been more like this.
That's
instead
what I'm about to say,
open.
too. The helmet is fucking ugly. Like,
Yeah.
that shit looks...
I'm not hating on it.
I am. What you mean?
I'm not
gonna sit here and say I'm definitely hating on that shit. Is terrible.
I'm not hating on it. I'm just like...
But hey, it's his first suit too, like Raymond said. I didn't even acknowledge that, so it could definitely...
But is he getting another one? Or do we know that Torres is going to be in, like, is he going to be that important?
Hopefully. I mean...
Maybe so. Maybe
he gets real Falcon Red Wing thingy. The little Maybe he gets the real bird and not actual robots and shit.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I'm with Hungry. The entire design is ugly. The colors, the helmet, the pants.
Oh, shit, that's loud.
The knee pads on top of the pants. I really don't understand that shit. And, yeah, no, I don't know. I just don't get it. Raymond said, I've never had an issue with the suits and costumes of the MCU. I think they're 100% in that department.
Sometimes. I think they go overboard.
I think whenever they want. But yeah. I think them always. What pissed me off is the series when they do the final suit design. You got to wait until the last episode. And then
the concept art comes out, and it's like, why not just do that? And then I think to myself too, like a lot of the MCU suits look very similar to themselves. Like I know a lot of people that aren't. Again, you got to think for people that aren't fans like us. There were people that were like, is Clea an Eternal? And because she looks like fucking one. She looks like one. She's dressed like one. I mean, they all look alike. So people were like, is that girl at the end of Doctor Strange? Is that one of the Eternals? No. I know how the MCU confused you because she looks like one of them, but no correlation at all. At all. So, yeah, no. I think sometimes they make that shit look too... Sometimes they do a good job, sometimes they don't.
Let's see. Scroll up, see a couple more. Raymond also said, the Avengers are lighthearted, fun, adventurous with some dramatic and tragic elements, but X-Men needs to be that serious thing. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Agreed. Scroll up a little more because we got some new ones.
They're doing a Netflix live action series of you see this deleted scene?
Yeah. And niggas chuckling.
Yeah. I'm afraid to play it. Anyway, of Scooby-Doo live action Netflix series.
I seen fucking new episodes of Velma or some shit just came out on HBO Max.
Where she died? I saw she died. I saw on Twitter. Yeah, Scrappy killed her. I saw something on Twitter that said, do you want to see what Scrappy looked like in it?
Do I need to watch this shit? I did not know that.
I saw it on Twitter. Hold on, let me show you. There he is.
Oh my god.
I don't know what this fucking show is. Oh my god, but Scrappy, I guess, killed her.
Watch this shit.
And yeah, she's like a ghost now or something. I don't know.
That nigga looks what? That is
That's Scrappy. And do they cuss in the show? I think it's a TVMA show, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they like cuss in this.
Sure, everything
and stuff.
they do is.
Yes, Raymond. This show.
Yeah, I didn't know
renewed.
either until I got on to watch a playoff game and like new episodes. I was like, I didn't even watch the. That thing is ugly. Oh shit.
Yeah, so Scooby, I guess, has not made an appearance yet. I guess just the team and things have, and now Scrappy, and now he's killed Velma. But
is that Daphne?
That is Daphne.
Oh my god, they nuked it. It took all that for a dog? Like they had to nuke that nigga?
Yeah, that is Daphne.
Oh my, yeah, I'm about to watch that. I'm not gonna.
Look how he emerged.
I'm definitely.
Did you see the way he emerged from the smoke?
Like, I'm tapping into this before fucking Invincible. No, I gotta go see what that's about.
Yeah, no, that is a real thing. That is real on HBO Max for anybody wanting to watch the Velma show on HBO Max. I saw somebody. This person, I'm tagged in these, and I just haven't had the energy to be in these debates this week, or just today in general, or really at all. But this guy, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? You guys have been arguing with him, and of course I'm tagged in it. Jacob, and that leads me to something else I want to say before, and I'm about out of things I need to say. But Jacob Beamer, you guys have been arguing with this guy on Twitter, back and forth. There's a whole thread. This thread, it starts with this. Okay, remember this tweet from somebody, Trash Boat, that said "Hear me out." Tweeted this, and it was Damson Idris as T'Challa. Got 5.5 million views, 1.7k retweets, 6.3k likes, and all that kind of stuff, and sparked so many different conversations and debates within different people quoting it or, you know, commenting under it or whatever. And then, of course, I'm tagged in it and tagged in so many different debates that are happening within this tweet from this tweet. This dude had said something like, I don't know, it wouldn't work because they killed him, or the time to that's what I think this is it. The time for a direct recast was before they killed him, and I'd have preferred that route, but I'm okay with the Young Avenger BP kid to show up as well. Young Avenger BP kid. That's not true. As you know, boom, right here. Come on. Boom. Boom. What are we watching right here? We are literally watching a different Rhodey. This is not even Rhodey. This is a scroll. This is why when people talk about the MCU and these things about that can and cannot happen in a fictional fucking story where we're watching purple men take down, you know, hunt for stones and trees, talking to raccoons and spider webs coming out of fucking people's wrist and shit. Like, anything is fucking possible in this universe. And in this story of Secret Invasion, like, people were fucking Skrulls. I understand that the 6 episodes that we got in Secret Invasion were not Secret Invasion, but if this is a Skrull, nothing is telling me that the fucking casket that got beamed up to Wakanda's wherever the fuck couldn't been a Skrull in there either. So, yeah, there's other ways you could do it. But the last thing I do want to say, too, is that, dude, I don't know if you guys saw it. I know Q saw it because he texted me about it. But this dude here, this is hilarious. Have you seen this?
Read! Read, nigga!
That's from D Stizzle. I think I don't know if D Stizzle made that or what, but that is that is hilarious. It's funny. But this dude, where is he? Where is he? This dude.
Oh yeah, boy.
So Just CJ had tweeted something I had said a few days ago, anyway, a lot of you saw the interaction we had. We were going back and forth on Twitter, quoting each other's tweets and blah 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 blah, to where I get to the point with the anti-recasters and these people that debate with me, to where I'll just be like, I'm not going to sit here and continue the I'm not going to write novels back and forth with you on Twitter. I would just prefer you come on live. Let's just have the discussion then, every time I ask that, either I'm ghosted, they stop the conversation. This person said, name the time and place. I named the time and place, to where he said he couldn't that day. And I said, trying to be nice. I said, I didn't even take into consideration. You might have shit going on tonight. You name a better time. And I heard nothing. So he did say, though, that he was like, well, I've seen your videos before and things like that. It's not that I disagree with your premise. It's just I disagree with the whatever the fuck he said. I don't remember exactly what he said, but
so much time on your hands, buddy.
yeah, all of them, yeah, all of them, and this is what I say to him.
Read, nigga, read!
Read, nigga, read.
Boom, that's what I was about to say. You nigga that's just putting out false information and then...
That's so funny because that's what they do. They're like, ah! You tell them read, they're like, ah!
Read, nigga, read!
Whenever niggas ask you a question, you just comment on the shit you want to. Like, you ignore the shit that you know you're wrong about and then try to compare other shit. I don't know, bro.
It's just funny. Read, nigga, read. Ah! Oh, that shit is funny.
Job application.
Bro, Oh my god, that episode is so funny. When Ruckus shows up to their house, you got to put things that put fear into a nigga. A job application. He said, these things strike fear into a nigga's heart. Oh my god, a job application. Shit. That's fuck. Oh my
Working
god.
and reading.
I miss that fucking show, man. They got to bring that show back. And you know, I can watch every episode as if I have not seen it.
I swear to God, I can rewatch the Boondocks
All the
whenever,
time.
wherever, no issue at all. I'll laugh like I ain't watching that shit.
The teacher episode, he said, Riley says
that?
nigga every day.
What's that shit I posted the other day? It said, especially able. Man, is that what y'all calling these niggas now? He said, these niggas ain't specially able. Luke Skywalker was specially able. You niggas is retarded.
He's like, what did you say?
That shit had me dead.
Oh
He said,
shit.
Luke Skywalker is specially able.
He said the other day, Riley walked up to a student and said, can a nigga borrow a fry? He said, and the first thing in my thought wasn't, oh, he said the N-word. It was, how is a nigga gonna borrow a fry? Nigga, is you gonna give it back?
And he said, he never liked me. First day I walked in class, he called me a disgusting black nigga.
He said, I'm just doing what I was trained to do. That's not what he was trained to do.
Bro, is that whatever granddad was like? He's a special and niggas say needs a special athlete.
They said, well, what kind of special needs does he have?
He especially needs his ass whooped. He especially needs an ass whooping. That shit had me.
I'm telling you, the Boondocks, bro, is one of the best shows ever. Like the jail episode when he was like, I take this jam here, and then he got distracted by Tom. He said, I'm sorry, got distracted by that fine motherfucker over there. What's your name, fine motherfucker?
Peanut butter and jelly and ass sandwich.
He said, what's your name, fine motherfucker?
Tom.
He said, Tom.
Tom. Nigga Tom said,
We're supposed to be scaring the children. Oh my
That whole
god.
episode, Uncle Ruckus sitting there focused on the white kids and said, you niggas make yourself at home.
He said, little white children, don't you worry. Your Uncle Ruckus is gonna protect you. This is gonna be like a trip to the zoo. Oh, but you niggas, this is gonna be like a trip to the future.
He said, white bitches, Indian bitches, Brazilian bitches.
He said, bitches, what'd they say? Is that just a category? Just one category? Bro, I'm telling you, that fucking show. I love that show. Love that show. Funny as fuck.
I'm telling you, I'm dead ass. I'm telling you, when I used to drive for the lab, I would put that shit on. Because I would sometimes fall asleep. I just needed some shit to laugh to, bro. And every time, that shit would never fail to make me laugh, bro.
The show is hilarious.
Like, whenever he was dating a little karate bitch or whatever, he was like, you never told me you was a karate bitch.
When Pip named Slickback was gonna slap the girl, he said, "You're not gonna hit no woman in my household." Where's a woman, sir? This here is a hoe. Not in this house, she ain't. Oh God.
Oh man.
Man, I'm telling you,
we definitely got to have a little Boondocks rewatch one day.
I'm telling you, that shit is just crazy funny.
Cause that shit right there.
Crazy funny. But
I didn't know there was a killer kung fu wolf bitch in my house. That shit would kill me. But that, I swear, you know which episode, that Tyler Perry episode, that shit will kill. I don't know if you could pay me not to laugh at that shit. That nigga says, on your knees, Robert.
On your knees,
Nothing.
Robert.
don't nothing make me laugh like that shit or whatever. He's like, you gotta say no homo. Yeah, I liked it. It was like, oh, no homo. He said, thanks, Red.
Oh, shit's funny. But that's the news. That is the news for today. Tomorrow, of course, 97 reaction will be up and thoughts on it afterward. But that is the news for today. So we will see you guys tomorrow in the yeah, damn sweetest taboo. You in rare form. It's the sweetest taboo. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with y'all to discuss X-Men 97. If you're new here and you haven't seen, make sure you tune in tomorrow. Those reactions are live reactions. It's pre-recorded, but the reaction goes up live, so we can have the live discussion. Then we discuss live with you guys after. But then afterwards, it goes up as just a regular upload video. But so if you're not in there tomorrow, and there are 33 of you in here now, so please come in tomorrow to that live stream. Let's get those live streams popping. There's only 3 episodes left, so I'm expecting it to be some fire. Let Bo tell it is going to be some fire. So
If any of you 30 not subbed, do that now.
Yes.
Like 70 away from 2,000.
yes.
And we hit 2,000. Hopefully after episode tomorrow, I'll start twerking. Oh God.
Marvelous T said, did you watch the promo for episode 8? Yeah, I did watch the promo for episode 8. And the thing I do love about these promos that are different from like the movie promos, they really don't show you.
It's just a little promo.
Yeah, they don't show you shit. It's like really like
an animated picture moving.
Yeah, that's not. They don't show you shit, and I love that. Now I hate that they share a clip every fucking week, but they did share the clip of the Summers family taking out.
I didn't watch it on purpose.
I did.
Saw it. I only
watched
watched the Nightcrawler, that little snippet trailer teaser thing.
Yeah, I watched the clip
that.
and the trailer.
I didn't watch the Summers traveling as a team fight because I was like,
I did. I was pretty upset. I watched it, but. But it was good. It was good. So I'm excited for tomorrow. And then tomorrow is the end of Bad Batch. Henry told me I should watch the episode live. I'm not going to do that. I'm telling you now. I've already looked up after this last episode. This episode's only going to be 23 minutes long as a finale. And I just don't know how you accomplish anything in a 23-minute finale. But hey, I will be watching it and I'll let you know my thoughts on it. So I'll watch it maybe before the night so I can tell you guys what's going on with it. But anyway, appreciate everybody being here. Like, subscribe if you are not subscribed, share with your friends, and we will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.